Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of Legacy of Ruin, our homebrew Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign. When last we left off our intrepid band of chosen heroes, blessed by the power of Azrael, the celestial being that sacrificed himself to infuse them with soul-charged powers, you had been sent on a quest by a strange witchy woman in a hut in the woods to seek and slaughter a beast and harvest a mystical part from it in order to cast a scrying spell to find Father Pedros. But this beast was no ordinary beast, one that would only show itself to somebody who was still innocent inside. Somebody such as Miko. Spending time hunting, tracking, and seeking out this cloven-hoofed beast, you struggled to find it until eventually you sent Miko forward on his own. Scouting ahead, alone in the wilderness, you found the mystical beast who revealed itself to be a unicorn. Miko, suddenly realizing upon glimpsing such a majestic beast that Alice's request to slay it could not be the right action, they engaged in a small conversation. The unicorn revealed that Miko's true father was not Father Pedro's. Biological father was a creature of some evil repute that Father Pedros himself joined forces with to try to push out of the forest. But in those times, when Miko's biological father was removed, Pedros said that the children had died, and none knew that Miko had survived. The scent of Miko's father pervaded the air of the forest in recent times, and the unicorn said that Pedros and some of the wardens had headed northwest towards a tavern in the woods and asked for just one small favor, a favor that comes at a great cost. For the woman known as Alice was relentless in her pursuit to slaughter and harvest the unicorn. And sometimes blood must be met with blood. And he asked Miko to slay Alice to prevent her incessant need to murder him. Miko returned to the party. He didn't mention such things as needing to slay Alice, but instead just mentioned the tavern where they headed, tracking along a forest pathway. They camped for the night. Interesting things abounded as Leia and Miko slowly brought their adolescent relationship one step closer as they discussed their true feelings for one another, leading in a timid and gentle, intimate moment that you'll have to watch the previous stream to see. But alas, not all was set to be great for them, for they were attacked in the middle of the night by a beast of flame and hellfire, quickly killing the hellhound. Though not without devastating effect against it, they moved on towards the tavern, populated by wardens that Vatia scouted that saw they had pitch black eyes. Surrounding the tavern, they were able to move inside, striking quickly when Miko, who had gone inside to try to gather info about Father Pedros, appeared to be threatened and attacked. One of the wardens promised to slay poor Miko, who deftly dodged nearly every strike that came against him, as he was unable to have a blow landed against him for quite a bit of time as the party rallied to save an old man that they found inside, not Pedros, but the leader of the Druic Order, a man named Demian. As Miko channeled his powers given to him by Desna and the forge he made with Azrael, the wardens with their dark eyes and sinister ways, seemed to sense the energy within. Said something about Miko possessing the soul powers they were searching for. And Miko slew his first opponent. It was only after the battle was over it was confirmed that they were all possessed by demonic forces. And Demian mentioned that they had been seeking information about an ancient Jitsin dig site, several days' travel deeper into the Ravounel forest. Healed and brought back to a modicum of health, Demian decided to return back to the Circle of the Twisted Oak to guide the other druids of his order as the party rested for the night, recovering from the wounds and the tribulations that they had occurred. And we pick up on the following morning, the third day of Callistra, with the party awakening. And what do you all choose to do?
Oh man, everything last time was such a blur, I barely remember it. Slept so hard.
Yeah, you really were very quiet yesterday.
You
I feel like I barely remember you talking.
You didn't even do anything in the fight. Just hung out in the back the whole time.
Oh, like you all had it under control. You don't need me there. I'll just get in the way.
Oh my god.
So we still don't have Father Pedro that we need to look into?
If what they said is to be believed, I think they may have taken Pedro's up north to that Jiskin site. There was talk of some evil being sealed there. I think Pedro's may be a catalyst of sorts.
How much does Devlin know about Father Pedro's involvement with the first little war thing?
The majority of the younger folk in town, how old is Devlin? Actually, let's
well, Devlin's 26, but he's only been in the town for a small handful of years. He hasn't been there the whole time.
You would know pretty much nothing.
Okay.
So Father Pedros was a warden back in the old days before Miko was born. And then after whatever occurred in those times, that Miko slowly learning more and more about his adoptive father, he retired from being a warden to take up the mantle of a priest of Aristil and raise Miko in the church. So anybody new to the town wouldn't know anything about his old warden ways.
Okay.
Leia would have been like 1 back then. Also not in the town though, so I don't think any of you are actually locals to the town. Except Miko.
Would Delea have theoretically at least heard of stuff through her mother at some point?
Make me a society check.
Is this a recall knowledge?
Now we're gonna do just a straight society.
Okay.
Because recall knowledge would fall under lores or other things. You know? With a 24, a small bits here and there in casual conversation from your mother when discussing, trying to engage how, Father Pedros came from a strong line of men who had helped, keep the village safe and things like that. Things that you wouldn't have necessarily connected to him being a warden, but now as you start to piece part of the puzzle together, those kind of side comments start to click into place and you realize that maybe your mother wasn't talking about, him and his priesthood job.
I gotta say, I'm kind of obsessed with him coming from this long line of, people who are good at battle, and then his twink adoptive son. Sucks that happened. Sorry, Father Pedros.
I
That
think he
maybe
feels the same way though.
maybe that was Father Pedros' plan all along. Right?
My dad twinkified me.
On purpose, right? It sounds like your biological father maybe wasn't the
We
best
just haven't
sport.
hit Miko's swole arc.
Miko's biological dad was a twink. I can't believe we're making this canon right here.
You have to do your
Roll for
dedication. You have to do the swole dedication.
Swole dedication!
Horrible.
Anyways, Pathfinder.
So,
We'll write an archetype for you.
are we then going to go north? That's what we want to do. Chase down and look for Father Pedro's at Jiskin or the site, or what do you want to do?
From what we know, it's about
2 to 3 days travel.
Yeah.
Kind of northwest. He drew you a small map. You do notice Vatia doesn't seem to be feeling well. Not necessarily up to scouting the woods or participating in fights right now. Zarko also feels a little under the weather. They're silent at the moment.
we don't have any wisdom right now.
Hey, survival would get us through the forest, right?
Yes.
Don't worry, I think I can help with this. For this, you rest. Rest your voice too. Don't even worry about speaking. You just follow behind and be part of team, like I've done many times before now.
I think it's the extra dimensional flu.
It was not feeling great day before, but feel better now. Sorry you have caught what I had.
They say nothing, but they nod silently. They'll follow along in their extra dimensional, not present moment.
If you would like, I can take responsibility for guiding through forest 2 locations.
I mean, you're probably better than any of us. At least myself.
I would give me maybe a 5 rating.
What's it out of?
Large possibilities, maybe even up to 30s, but for now it's 5s.
If we're talking a scale of 0 to possibly 30s, I'd rank myself about a 4.
I don't understand the metrics of this scaling, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give myself a 0.
That's fair. We could travel, try to find Jiskin site. If that's what you want.
I mean, we have enough rations and food to get us there. We can get there, get back home afterwards, and then, assuming we find Father Pedro's. If not, there's potentially the leads in Kintargo.
Sorry, I just took food in my mouth. I mean, we don't really have any other sort of lead, so...
I mean, we've been out traveling to look for him already. We might as well. It's 2 more days. And if we don't find him, then we don't know what to go from there then.
To the Jiskin site. Let's work our way that way.
Yes, let's.
I roll up what I...
As you prepare to head out to navigate to the Jitsin ruins, you do have a map, so the check won't be so hard. Go ahead and give me a survival check, Evelyn.
Of course, this should be no problems. Finding check on character sheet bigger problem than rolling.
You miss one session. Forget how the character works. It's under proficiencies.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at it, but it doesn't match up to the character sheet on path on the path builder. Because my survival is only a 1 on there, but my survival is a +5 on the path builder site.
Are you trained in survival? It's missing the trained status. That's probably why. There you go.
Yes, I am. Perfect. I was like, guys, don't. I lied to you. I'm a 1. I'm a 1. Don't listen. But it's less than that. Ha! Yes. Super easy.
As you head out, some of you notice that you're heading east, not necessarily north, as Devlin begins to take you out on your journey, but, you know.
Devlin, didn't they say it was north?
Oh, yes. I was looking at the map wrong. There's no map.
He turns the map.
Yeah, he turns the map upside
the other way.
At 25 degrees to the left, or 45 degrees to the left, just...
90?
Yeah,
90 degrees?
No, 45.
No, 45 at an angle.
Oh.
It's super... I don't know what I'm doing, clearly.
He's like this.
I just go,
like,
it goes like this. It's like,
Wait, sorry,
Oh.
remind me of everyone's survival scores again. Yours is a +5. What's Delea's? Fulter,
Jack
what's yours?
shit.
A 4.
Look, this comes down
Okay,
to the fact that I'll never be able to roll well enough to get us anywhere. It doesn't matter if I have a +10; it'll still
Hey,
be.
you were rolling really good before the session.
he's the Will Wheaton of every group. We've been playing together, God, 10, no, 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
7, 8 years. 7, 8.
He rolls bad, no matter where we roll. Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, in person, online
he's
rollers,
cursed.
Discord chatbot.
So he's cursed. So why are we letting him roll?
Just want to play like you guys.
As you adjust your map, go ahead and give me another survival check.
You got those.
I have figured it out. That was problems. It was map, not me.
You definitely got this.
Whoa! See, that's more like it. See a
Uh,
little bit of help from Miko.
faulty maps and helps from Mikos is what I needed.
His Google
You
Maps wasn't updated.
you quickly correct your trajectory. I'll actually activate our overland map here for everyone. As you head further north into the Ravounel forest. Roll a couple secret checks here. And you manage to pass unsuccessfully for the first day, wary of potential demonic forces traveling throughout the region and not wanting to get jumped by hellhound beasts. You managed to take the first day of travel relatively simple. The map does show that the ruins appear to be somewhere up this way. As you bed down and camp for the night, the morning of the following day, and eventually we might expand into full exploration rules here, but for now, just go ahead and make me a survival check.
Exploration, like in Curse of Strahd.
You
Stop
joke.
it!
But I'm going to make a Hexploration Barovia Pathfinder 2nd Edition Curse of Strahd
And
game.
it's gonna be bad, and it's not gonna work.
No, because I'm
be
gonna-
careful. This is on record.
I'm gonna make it like I'm gonna make
I'm getting the
Barovia
timestamp.
a super gothic horror abandoned wasteland. It's gonna be after Curse of
Hey,
Strahd.
that's not
like 50
Barovia.
years. I'm gonna call it Carovia.
Stop it! Stop it! I'm writing this down with
Barovia?
the timestamp. You're going to be held to this.
Essentially,
Oh
I'm just
my
gonna convert
God.
the story elements, but change the entire scenery into a different
don't-
homebrew domain of dread.
I don't like Carovia. I'm just thinking Disney Pixar's Cars, but vampires and spooky stuff.
It's gonna be Pathfinder 2nd Edition Modern. Actually, everybody has a car.
Oh my god.
The Fast and the Furious Vampire Edition. Go ahead and roll a. Oh, you did roll your survival check. Okay. Let's see how that goes for you. Yeah. You pass through uneventfully once more. If you one more day to get up here, with the map here, you actually don't even need to take a survival check. If you would, you're so close.
You can almost hear the shouts or whatever that goes on at this Just Insight, JITSEN, something like that.
Yeah. As you move out on the following the third day, in the distance, you start to notice that it appears the trees begin to thin more and more as you head closer towards the site marked here. You begin to hear the sounds of people perhaps digging, shouting, movement going on. You're definitely starting to approach as the trees thin out. Large metallic blocks etched in ancient sigils begin to line part of the forest pathway, overgrown with moss and rubble surrounding them. A few places here and there you notice the moss has been rubbed off, as though somebody has come by and cleared a space around some of the runic markers. You feel you're definitely getting close to the camp. How do you want to approach?
Well,
Stealthily and carefully.
Stealth was never an option.
Yelling and screaming.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm not very stealthy, but I will give it my best shot, but...
Yes.
Okay, I'll.
stealth time.
You've
You know what,
seen the
screw it, I'll
size
just go
of
and find
me.
the loot.
Yeah, you've seen the size of me. I don't stealth. Yeah, there's no...
Watch this.
I hide behind trees, and I'm still like, the trunk's like this.
I got this. Watch this. I'm gonna stealth so good, it's gonna be insane.
I
Let me
believe
just
in
hear. I know how to roll things.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and everybody roll me a stealth check.
I can't
oh
believe
boy.
that we're actually listening to an idea of mine.
I mean, like, what else do we have? Okay,
No, that's true.
how come, guys?
You do have.
I can't find my like action. I don't even have my action bar available to me. That's what I usually roll off of.
Just go to your character sheet.
It's not available here because you don't have a token on the scene. Hold on. I'll put some tokens on the scene for the overland map for you so that you'll have them.
Sorry, I'm bad at Foundry. Thank you for the Miko.
There you go.
Go, Miko, go. Oh.
As you approach,
I trip and fall.
the camp.
Just pushing trees out of my way.
The crunching of the twigs under Devlin and Miko. I've had a bit of rum.
Sorry?
I wasn't fully prepared for today, so maybe I drank a bit for improv.
Drank a bit for improv?
That's the way to do it.
Legacy of Ruins continues to be a family-friendly live stream.
Did we ever say we were family friendly? I think we.
No, we are the
I hope
opposite of that.
We are
No.
friendly and we are
We have
family to each
families.
other. Yeah, that too. That's about it.
As you approach these ruins, stepping on multiple twigs, the cracking of the branches, Devlin and Miko, you begin to engage in a conversation about the finer points of stealth. Unfortunately,
Does anybody else see what I see as far as shadowing goes? Or is that just okay?
I like that falters sideways.
Oh no. Sorry, navigating underbrush is not my strong suit.
You
Oh,
guys need to
shit.
be quiet. It's not that hard. You just don't talk.
What do you mean? I'm being very quiet.
Mm-hmm. But you're yelling when you're saying that you're being very quiet, which is kind of
I'm not yelling.
counterintuitive. You're talking very loud, and it's a little bit counterintuitive to the point
Devlin,
of being
am I
quiet.
talking loudly?
Nico.
What? I can't hear you over
Oh,
falling
boy.
trees.
Am
my God, you
I talking loudly?
Shut the fuck
You'll
up,
have
both
to
of you
speak
guys.
louder. You're being too quiet.
No, am I?
I'm
and you
losing
hear a
my hair.
cry come out to the west.
Oh shit.
Intruders!
Oh look,
And
okay.
everybody go ahead
Leia,
and
talk
roll
so loudly.
initiative.
I'm going to hit you with my loot if you.
Obsessed.
Oh boy.
Okay, fine.
Oh.
Fine. This is fine.
Everything is fine. Miko!
He's so on top of it.
Mine didn't even roll.
You have to roll it?
I
Oh,
did
it rolled.
roll it.
Here's rolled.
Oh,
You have a
no, I
17.
didn't-
What? Where? Oh, there. Oh, there. Hey, stuff's popping up. I see Miko's roll too.
Yep.
Small chance my computer's frying.
Ooh, yummy.
Miko, it is your turn. For some reason, I don't know why
Yes.
it's saying that it's somehow the tracker got off order, but it's your turn.
Okay. I don't even see anything
You don't, but you
Okay.
definitely heard the sounds coming to the west.
from the west. I guess like I'll
Off
move
this
up
way.
then. Oh, that way. Okay. Then I'll move. I'll move there. Wait. I'll move there.
That's
See
one
what I
action.
see. Oh, I
Miko
don't
chooses
see
violence.
shit is the answer. I want to just see. I'll use a second action to just see. Oh, I can't. I'm colliding with a wall.
You should be
tree.
able to slip past there.
Too much wall.
Just a
Miko's
bit
been eating
much
too many
wall.
sandwiches.
Thank you. Oh, Lord in Heaven Almighty. Cool. What can I do now? Hey, Miko. What do you have that's one action? Absolutely nothing. Nice job, dude. Okay, I cast Stand Here and hope for the best.
Could cast Run Away.
I could cast Run Away. How much movement do I have left? That much? Yeah, no, I'm gonna cast Get Out of the Way of My Compatriots. And that's the end of my turn.
Oh, guess we're going that way.
All right. This
I'm gonna get bitched.
rushes over here,
Hi!
targets you, shoots with their short bow,
Oh,
hitting
that's
for
okay.
3 damage,
Oh, that's okay. You don't need to, do that.
and then takes another shot,
No, it's
hitting
okay.
for 3 damage. Once more.
Oh.
And
Oh,
as
no, it's okay.
this cultist rushes out, you recognize it's a member of the Strix ancestry, bird creatures that live within the Ravounel forest. And just as they get closer to you, you notice their eyes are pitch black.
Hmm.
Oh, not this again. It's Zared. Oh my god.
Walter.
Miko just went over there and I heard bow fire. Arrows twinging. I'm gonna.
And Miko getting hit. Definitely,
Yeah.
you
And
heard
Miko is going, ow!
some.
Ow!
As far as I can get.
If you want to take another
Is it-
action, I can move you through the.
Yeah. I'll take another move action and get in there.
Let me see. Can you move through
Can't.
now? I changed the wall a bit.
Yes.
There you go.
Going to. This is all difficult. Oh. Oh boy. Okay, just kind of running in and getting against the back of the tent there. Gonna look at my options. Miko's not in too much trouble. I'm gonna get ready to eat
I'm
this
fine.
tide. I'm just gonna put up my shield and call that a turn.
All right. Devlin, your turn.
Right behind Falter. I don't know where he went, but I'm gonna follow Falter because I assume there's a fight.
He went
going
down
on.
this way.
Yeah. I'll. Can I squeeze through here? Is that an obstacle?
Yeah, it'll be difficult terrain, but you could get there.
My first movement. Let's see. What's my move speed on this shit? Hold on.
Your move speed is
Should be 25.
25.
25 to here. Is this like under the tree or is this in the tree?
That'll be
if I go
running
there?
under the tree. Yeah.
I can't really go under it, but that's where I'd like to go. Is right there. If it'll let me.
Yep.
Oh, I can see everything. That just opened right up. I'll take.
Devlin
one
has
more
tactical superiority.
25
Yeah.
move speed to go here.
You could get exactly there.
That's another movement. I can't move it though. There's a tree blocking me. There we go. And then I will mountain stance next to this guy. Click.
Leia.
Hi. I want to check something. I don't technically need to be able to see to. How far away am I from Miko? Is it more than 30 feet? 'Cause I don't know where Miko is.
Miko is 35 feet away from you.
Boo. Okay. Never mind. Let's do a little bit of spicy movement. Oh, I can kind of see things. Oh, hello there. I will go there and then, just because it's fun, I'm gonna inspire courage plus the lingering composition.
Okay, make your performance check. for lingering composition.
Performance. Let's go!
All right. Well, with a nat 20, that'll be a critical success. So that will be 4 rounds for Inspire Courage for everyone.
I think it's fun that I like almost always crit on these.
On your lingering compositions.
Yeah.
Inspire Courage is 1 action, right?
Yeah.
I think you
And
still have,
lingering composition is a free action.
Yeah, so you still have 1 action left.
Yeah. Can I see? I can see. I can sort of see things. Do I have the range for this though? I'm not even gonna measure. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna cast stand there as well.
Okay.
Play a little riff on the lute. Really lighten the mood. I don't know.
He rushes here, then rushes over here, and draws forth 2 hatchets. This one rushes up to here and draws forth a dagger. Miko.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Let me double check what a spell does. Oh! I just got booted out of Foundry.
No. Miko.
It does say that they are not in.
Miko dies, actually.
Tragic.
I cast F in the chat.
We need a fundraising thing for Michael to get a new computer. High end.
Oh boy, do we.
It shows you're back in.
Okay.
Now, can you see stuff?
Yeah. I just gotta, guys, I can't have shit around here. Hem. Okay. Let me check something. Let me do some measuring. Imagine measuring in a TTRPG. Could be me. Is there a place? What? I'm trying to see if there's a place I can stand where I can get both of the cultists in a 10-foot radius without hitting any of my other compatriots.
A 10-foot radius without... What are you trying to cast?
Cordant Choir.
You just post it in the chat real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, you could probably find a place for a 10-foot burst. That would be... That would look kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't get all 3, but you could get 2.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. I think it originates... No, does it originate from me?
If you do the 3-action version, it originates from you, but if you're doing the
I'm just doing the 2-action.
2-action version for the 10-foot burst, then it
Lovely. Then let's hit him with one of those.
Alright, then both of these will have to make a saving throw. They both fail.
Nice. That's what I like to hear.
So click that 2d4 sonic damage button. And they'll
Yup.
take full damage from that.
Okay, well, Miko, you're shit, but that's all I'm gonna do because I don't think I can do anything else for a single action. Miko time.
He rushes back
Oh, bye, King.
and flies up about 10 feet off the air as he does so. And then fires off his short bow at Devlin, missing horribly.
Rude.
And then as he's floating there, kind of hovering up, he cries out,
This will be your end.
and he attempts to demoralize you.
Me? Or everybody?
Just you.
Just me. Can I make a save or is he... Okay, what do I need to do?
He rolls against you. It does not work.
Okay.
He's not trained in intimidation.
Okay.
Okay. You can try to rev up.
You
Alright, got
succeed.
that going. Let's throw the nastiest haymaker I can muster.
You miss.
That ain't it.
As your gauntlet shoots forth and flies past his head, kind of ducks off and leans to the side.
Alright. Gonna keep my shield up between us there.
Devlin, it is your
Yeah.
turn.
I'm gonna shift to here.
Okay, 5-foot step, I'm guessing.
Yep. And that should flat foot at least the one dude, right?
Yes, because
Okay.
you're now flanking.
Yep. And then, do I have to activate my hand wraps?
No, your hand wraps are automatic. If you want to use your features like your key strike or your other soul bound abilities,
Soul
those
fire.
are things you have to cast. But if you're just
Okay,
trying to hit them with your hand wraps, that's automatically added in.
Okay, I'd like to do the whole soul fire thing.
Okay, so then that will be
Two actions.
2 actions to cast the spell, right? We'll post that in chat for people. So you'll get your spell effect. And then go ahead and this is not going to be a good move for you because you took 1 action to step. And then when you activate your soul fire, it's all your strikes until the start of your next turn deal the extra damage. But you're not
Okay.
going to have any actions left to do that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
I misunderstood. I thought
you
it lets
might
me
want
make one.
to key strike or something because you already used an action. That's the problem.
Sure. Yep. Then I'll just punch this guy and you take these back. So I ran up twice. Okay. I'm just gonna
You
attempt.
put yourself at 0 points. You have full point.
Oh, I see. I thought that
Yeah.
filling it in. Okay, I see. I'll just punch then.
Okay.
Okay. What am I?
With your falling strike, people's elbow, mountain stance below.
Well, I'll make sure I have him targeted. I do. And do that.
Rolling that
yeah!
one as you critically miss.
Yeah.
You
what I
attempt to
do.
people's elbow your falling stone strike
You know
against
what?
the captain, and he
I'm
just
gonna hero point
leans
it.
to the side.
I'm gonna hero point
Well,
it.
we have the house rule for hero points that increase degree of success. So if you use a hero
Oh,
point, it makes it from
never
critical
mind.
failure to a failure.
Never mind. Then I
This
just
guy's got the moves.
use one attack and he slightly steps to the side and I missed horribly.
You still have one action left.
Alright. Make a second
Remember,
attack, I guess. Oh.
You also have your flurry of blows. So actually, it's your first combat playing a monk in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Yeah.
So if you want to instead use that action as flurry of blows instead of a normal strike, you can go ahead and make the other strike at your map penalty. We'll retcon that and make it a flurry of blows for you if you want. You get 2 strikes for 1 action, but it'll be at your -5 penalty.
Okay.
But it's better for your action economy that way.
Okay. Then yeah, we'll do that. This will be is it 2 for actions for a flurry of blows?
Nope, it's 1 action and you get 2 strikes.
Okay. And then the second one's just the map -5.
Yep. So that one does hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
For 12 damage as you slam into him with the follow-up blow. And now you still have 1 action left.
Okay. Then with my last action, I'm gonna look at this cultist, the Strix one that flew up into the air and tried to demoralize me.
Okay.
And I have something called Intimidating Glare, which lets me demoralize just by looking at him.
Okay, go ahead and do that. So you'll see on your actions list, you have a demoralize skill. So target the Strix cultist and then click that intimidation button under your action list and it'll automatically tell you if you succeed or fail. Using the skill action module that they are.
Okay. Demoralize. Nope.
You do fail, however.
Okay, that's fine. That's my turn. Sorry it took so long.
Alea.
Let's do something a little bit spicy. I can see the warden captain.
You can.
I can. I'm gonna cast Ill Omen.
Alright, go ahead and post that in chat.
They need a DC 18 will saving throw, or else they get disadvantage on either their next roll or all of their rolls until the duration of that spell ends.
He fails. So he will have a misfortune on there. So essentially, roll twice, take the worst result. Or remember that. There's not an effect for Ill Omen for me to mark him with having it, but he has it. You should still have 1 action, right?
Mm-hmm. And I will go ahead and cast Sidestep just a little bit. I don't want to get too into it, so that'll be my turn.
Alright. He takes an action to step to the side to kind of... Actually, he steps to the side here. Because he's an intelligent foe. So that'll make Devlin flat-footed for him. And then strikes out with his hatchet. However, it'll be keep lower, right? It's the first time during the duration. So... and he does miss because of that as he swings his hatchet. It seems like it's going to connect and he kind of stumbles over a stone, kind of falls forward and it swipes right across Devlin's face. He follows up quickly with a second strike, attempting to hit once more. But Devlin, in his mountain stance, as it goes to strike him, he just kind of brings up his hands, catches him by the wrist, and pushes him off. An unmoving block of force. As he ends his turn, this next cultist you begin to see that he starts gibbering in this strange language and frothing at the mouth. He begins to enter into a strange fanatical frenzy. And he lashes out. But you manage to once again, you turn, you bring your arm up and you smack the weapon away. Your mountain stance makes you an immovable target and you manage to block the blows stringing against you as he tries once more to strike out at you. And you just punch his fist out of the way. Kind of slams down, he shakes his hand and screams at you in rage. Is Miko.
I have a question. Do we use Pythagorean theorem in Pathfinder 2nd edition?
We can,
if
but
wanna
I'm not
shoot
good at
someone-
math.
Okay, but I'm asking, like, if I'm, like, trying to shoot this guy in the air, do I just, like, measure on the ground and just use what the ruler gives me, or are we gonna do some Pythagorean theorem here?
It should be Pythagorean theorem.
A
We
squared
have
plus
to do
b squared equals c
Pythagorean.
squared.
You could theoretically get the distance by, how high up is if you're to draw from right to left and use the diagonal. The Pathfinder automatically adds in the extra feet, right?
It doesn't add it in when you're using the ruler to measure, though.
So you're gonna make me do Pythagorean theorem.
We'll just call it 45 feet to make it to streamline gameplay. Since he's 40 feet away and 10 feet up. I don't know what the math
okay.
is, but we'll just call it 45.
It's not
So I
tabletop
gotta-
gaming till Pythagoras gets brought up.
They said
yeah,
you.
okay, then
I said I never need math, but then I got into D&D.
So then I'm gonna move myself here. Him. And then I'm gonna give him a little pew pew with some divine lance.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack. And what type of damage are you trying to deal?
Good damage.
Okay.
Always good damage. You know what's Woo!
A
Good
damage.
26 will hit. Go
I
ahead
would
and roll
like to
damage.
think a 26 will hit. Yeah, get his ass. Fuck yeah.
Is that max?
As your
Yeah.
divine lance
Yeah.
slams into him, you hear the sound of people working as you get closer to this pit. Whatever noises are coming from below, they're shouting and screaming kind of going on. You can't quite see in there, but there's definitely more people down below in the pit.
Yikes.
As he turns his bow towards you, Miko,
Oh,
he fires off
I'm
a shot,
okay.
critically hitting
Ooh,
for
crit?
16
For what?
damage.
Miko dies.
No, you're okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're okay.
Ouch.
And then he quickly reloads and shoots again,
No!
hitting for 8.
Yeah, that will not hit, I don't think.
Now Miko goes down.
Wait. What? How did that... what is my... What? How does that hit?
Your armor class is a 15.
Is a...
Your armor class is a 15.
Yeah, then how does an 8 hit? Oh, it hits
So the 8's the
for...
damage. It auto rolls the damage.
God,
I rolled a 16
I...
to hit.
Yeah, I got it now. Thank you.
I
Miko
actually did the
dies.
same
Quick
thing when you said he
arrows.
crit.
Thump! Thump! As he lets out a shriek to everyone else.
You're next.
Oh! That's not very helpful.
Your tone sounds very pointed right now.
And then he flies up a bit higher.
Your boyfriend just died. Have some respect.
She can't see Miko on the map.
Oh no!
And
He just
Miko's your
interacted
healer.
with, like,
Oh,
Oh man.
I love that he
Okay.
says you're next and she's like XOXO bestie. What?
oh man.
This is why you don't take the spellcasters
Yeah.
into melee.
Gonna try to squeeze around this guy.
Yeah, you can do that. He does not appear to have attack of opportunity.
Alright.
Miko kills one cultist and starts to think.
I wasn't thinking nothing. Clearly.
Gonna run over here, pointing my hand backward, and spray Miko down with a nice minty cloud.
With your searing restoration.
For 5.
Thank you. I want to click the button.
Oh, I'm sorry, I already clicked
Damn
it.
it. Weird, I love
apologize.
clicking the button.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Function. Well,
Oh, I'm alive.
And then
It's a
you
good thing I'm
critically fail
overdriven.
your unstable check.
yeah. But since I'm overdriven, my fire resistance is bigger than damage I would take.
All right.
Nice.
You take no damage as your invention for searing, flaming, heat healing, the fires wash over Miko, cauterizing whatever arrow wounds he has, burning the shafts out for him. And he somehow gasps awake as the adrenaline kicks in, waking him back up from his unconscious form. You take no damage, but I think your searing restoration's broke now, right?
Yep, I am. My innovation itself is currently busted, so no more overdriving no more unstable checks for the rest of the combat.
All right.
But I do.
Oh wait, no, you still
is
have
that
you still have an
a-
action, right?
Is it a double action?
Is searing restoration 2 actions?
Searing restoration is a 1 action, so I do
Yeah,
have
so
one
you
more.
have 1 action, yeah. That's why I was like, oh
Let
wait,
me-
no, you got 1.
So I'm in position. Let me throw a punch at this guy.
That will hit. For 7.
Or 7.
Alright, now, Devlin, it is your turn.
I'll try to attack the warden captain, I guess. See if this works.
Do I do
out for
flurry
me.
of blows?
I was gonna use it. Yeah, as my first one. Yeah.
Yep. So I'll give you 2
So-
strikes.
I don't have to click anything. It's just I say it, right?
Yeah, you can just say it.
Okay. Yep. So for the first attack,
That will miss.
and for the second attack,
Also a miss.
all right, I'm gonna use one of my hero points to bump that up to just a normal hit if that's
Alright, that's fine. And go
Okay.
ahead and roll damage.
okay.
For 7, as you shoot your fist trying to strike him over and over again. He seems to deftly dodge, and just when it looks like you're about to miss, you turn your hips and slam an elbow up across his jaw.
Okay.
You still have 2 actions.
Okay. Can I'm unfamiliar with how this works. Can I use a key strike?
You can, but that will kick off an attack at a -10 for you. So it might not be the
Well-
best use of your focus point.
Nope. Then instead, I'll just attempt to, I guess, grapple him. Yeah, I'll attempt to snatch him up.
Alright, you should have a grapple on your check there. It'll be at map -10. However, since you did 2 strikes already, and a grapple counts
Yeah.
as an attack.
Okay.
You'll see it under your skill action tab. He kind of deftly dodges as you try to grab at his shirt. And he grins with a wicked grin on his eyes.
And then can I attempt to demoralize him for my last action?
You can.
I was super useful today, guys.
he
Rolling's a lot of fun for me.
is not frightened of you, despite you landing several devastating blows against him. Leia, it is your turn. You heard what sounds like Falter's healing fire spray.
But the real question is, do I know what that sounds like? Have I been conscious
Yes,
any time it's been
because he
used?
did it to Demian.
Oh, right. Oh, right.
So you saw him do it.
Mm,
You may not know who he used it on, but you do recognize that whoosh sound of his fiery healing.
okay, I'll move just a little bit, because I'm trying this thing where I actually play it, caster out of melee. Can I tell that it's been used on Miko
Yes.
once I move?
Once you step out, you get the lay of the land very quickly. See Miko laying down on the ground, smoke sort of rising up from his body, charred arrows littering around him. There's only one person with a bow.
Mm,
He's flying up 30 feet in the air.
okay. Two things that I could do. I could either cast Soothe on Miko, or I could fling something at the flying person. Choices. I'm gonna go with my gut reaction to not immediately burn another first level spell slot in a row and just telekinetic projectile the guy in the air.
I feel that matches Delea's personality. Seek revenge first.
Yeah.
That will miss. Okay,
nope,
0
you're pointing
point. And then roll the damage.
Don't hit Miko. Cute.
Or 6. As you fling projectiles at this beast, it slams into his shoulder and he lets out a shrieking grasp of pain. He kind of flutters a little, stunned in flight, barely holding on.
Oh, you don't like when people throw things at you? Now you know what it feels like, huh? I don't have anything else to do. I should just be a bitch at this point.
The warden captain will swing his hatchet, critically hitting Devlin for 14. And then swing once more, missing as you manage to knock that blow away. And then he's going to attempt to demoralize you, which does not affect you either.
Where does it say the DC on that for me when someone does it to me?
It's your will
Outside.
DC.
Ah, okay.
So your will DC is a 17. So it does not affect you. This fanatical cultist rushes at Delea, just screeching. Attempts to stab you with his dagger, critically hitting.
I just flung one rock.
14. And then swings again, hitting for 8. Man, my rolls are good today, everyone. Miko, you are prone on the ground.
I'm in a bit of an achy. I'm in a bit of an ouchie, gang. I think I'm gonna heal myself. I think I'm allowed to do that for fun.
You can. You want to 2-action heal yourself? For the bonus hit point?
I might as well, yeah. I might as well just 2-action.
You should have a 2-action heal macro on your bar, yeah. You just have to target yourself and then click it.
I got it, thank you!
I'm so proud.
Spell. Heal. Cleric font. Let me click the button, Baird.
You got it. Heal yourself.
Yeah, let's go. Miko lives.
As the
And then I'm
mystical
gonna.
energy flows over you. You're still laying prone on the ground.
Yeah, I'd love to stand up.
Alright, and then that'll be all your action.
Yep.
After insulting him, he turns to Delea.
Didn't even demoralize it. I simply said words.
And shoots. He misses. As
Good.
you deftly dodge out of the way. And then he fires again. And he hits for 3. Which is enough to bring you down.
Ooh.
As he then turns back towards Miko. And he fires off and rolls in that one.
Get bitched!
Alter.
Oh my god.
Okay. Gonna take my shield and kind of slide it, putting it on Miko with the protect
Okay.
other thing,
Yep.
and I'm charging at that guy who just attacked Delea.
As you project your shield out, it shoots forth and a spectral shield forms over Miko, giving him an additional bonus against attacks. As you summon your soul shard relic power.
And let's come on, good rolls, good rolls. Hey, look, rolls.
That will hit.
Ooh. And
Slams into him. He rocks his head and kind of tries to shake
oh wait,
it
no,
off.
I moved. Sorry, ignore that second roll. I don't have that action.
Yeah. Evelyn.
One of these is gonna work. Alright. This time.
You can start
you know
your
what?
turn by casting Key Strike and get a
That's what I
flurry of
was-
blows with it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I'll probably I'll do a key strike and using flurry
And then
of blows.
Put the spell effect on you. And then do you want to do force negative or positive damage?
Positive. I want to be positive.
Positive
today.
damage won't hurt living creatures, just as an FYI.
Oh, force. I want to be forceful today.
Okay.
I'm going to
And then-
try to hit somebody. Yeah.
A 22 will hit.
Didn't have him targeted. There we go. My bad. Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Slam your fist and an explosion of energy rocks through him as his body flies forth, slams on the ground. You see it starts twisting and writhing as this black smoke kind of oozes out of his body and dissipates on the wind.
Now I only have one action, right?
I gotta double check. Flurry of blows if you can move between the strikes. I'm not sure if you can or not. I gotta double check my make 2 if both hit the same creature, blah blah. Yeah, I don't know if you can move between flurry of blows. Matilda, do you know off the top of your head? I'm not sure you can because you make 2 strikes as one action. I don't think you can move between them.
Yeah, I don't think you
That's
can.
fine.
Yeah.
I don't
You
need to
still-
make a second attack.
You have 1 action
Oh.
left.
I'm gonna move in front of Miko and try to be a meat shield. That's what I
Local
do.
little guy.
Protect my friends.
This one's gonna turn around and swing at Falter. Missing. Missing. And you see he's just in kind of a blind rage. Just swinging out. Out of no sense or thought or control as he does this. Miko.
I just muted myself instead of unmuting myself. I'm gonna... Hey, I'm what? Why am I wounded too? Wounded one. Okay, that's fine.
Be careful with the wounds from recovering from dying.
Gotcha. I'm gonna heal Delea. I'm coming for your ass.
2 action heal.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, apparently I healed myself better.
I see how it is.
It
Yeah,
still brings
I
the
know.
lay up to half health.
Yeah. I don't really think there's much I can do with my
Last
third action,
action.
so I'm gonna continue to stand here.
Is there such thing as like take cover if she's got someone in front, or if he, I guess Miko, but if there's someone in front of him, can he can? I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know.
You can take cover when you're benefiting from cover, but you need at least standard cover.
Okay.
And Miko only has lesser cover from you.
That's fine.
Still better than nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to stand here.
Alea, you gasp awake as you feel this soothing, healing energy course through your body.
I also just accidentally muted myself while trying to unmute myself.
The world's greatest production quality.
Hey, we're just a group of friends.
That's all we are, really.
I'm gonna do this really cool thing called punching a bitch.
Okay. With your loot?
No, with
No?
my fist! Because that's more than with my loot.
Your fist critically hits. Wow. Okay.
With a kidney punch from behind.
Oh wait, sorry. Stand up first, then I hit.
Well, it's a critical either way. I was like, you critically hit it even with a -2 for being prone, but...
Cool.
That will just knock him unconscious, however. Unless you want to try to make it a lethal blow. It'll still be a crit even if you make it lethal. You take a -2, which was calculated into your prone by accident anyway, so it'll still be a crit. So you can kill him with that blow.
Yeah.
Alright. Alea
Yeah.
stands up and just with a fist of fury, you slam it in. You just punch straight across. You hear a crack across his head as you literally fracture his skull. He falls to the ground and slumps, and you see his body start to writhe and twist and convulse, and then a black smoke sort of ekes out of him and then dissipates on the wind. You still have one
I
action
look down
left.
at the body. I want to look down at the body, look back at Delea. Has Devlin been teaching you?
I've been watching a little bit. How many rounds? Oh, this is my last round of Inspire. It's until the end of the next round, right?
Yeah. It'll
Okay.
expire at the start of the next initiative order.
Okay. What's the distance here? Oh, I can do the thing! Yeah, because I did that last time. I'm just gonna kick another rock.
Well, you used 2 actions already. Telekinetic
Never mind,
projectile
I forgot.
is a 2-action activity.
I'm gonna do this really cool thing where I just move a little bit, so I'm potentially out of hitting range a little bit more.
Hide behind Falter.
Yeah. Metal shield.
This
That's it.
flying Strix shoots at Devlin, missing. And then critically missing. And flies a bit further away, changing their positioning as Falter. It's your turn.
They fly down at all?
Nope.
Hey,
Okay,
Let-
well,
maybe I can.
You do have eye beam.
I'm trying to see if I can possibly get in range for that.
You just take a -2 range penalty if you shoot it from beyond normal range.
Oh, is that all it is?
Yep, it's a -2 for being outside of normal range for every range increment.
Okay, yeah, that's what I had in mind. It's only a 20-foot range increment, so I gotta be close because of how high he is. So I'll take 2 actions getting up, and I'm gonna look straight up and try to just blast.
All right, that'll be a -2 to this strike.
Okay. So it's
You
gonna miss
missed
anyway.
by 2. Unfortunately. So, unless you got a hero point in you.
You know what? Let's get this over with. I'm gonna use my hero point on that.
All right, roll damage.
3. How near death is he?
You charge forward, and as you watch as Falter runs up, his singular glowing eye begins to charge with energy, and it shoots out, slams in to the Strix. As it hits him, he falls crashing into the tent below, disturbing a crate of goods in which small flasks spill out upon the ground as his body begins to convulse and shift as a black smoke pops out.
I guess you could say the Strix faltered.
You could have a hero point for that one.
Yeah!
That was atrocious.
That was
Thank
horrible.
you!
Horrible.
got
That's gonna be the
wonderful
worst
dad
one of the
jokes.
night. You guys are out of initiative order. There are definitely sounds coming from the pit. It appears your fast-paced, quick 30-40 second combat was unnoticed by those below.
I would like to peer into the pit.
Miko,
I just
can
walk
you...
to right here.
Miko, do you have any band-aids?
Oh, yes. I waddle on over. I'd love to be able to move Miko.
Miko's
Okay,
dead.
here I come. Miko died, unfortunately, again. I'll treat wounds you. Actually, how are other people doing? Falter hasn't been hit. Devlin, I can't see your HP. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm just a little over half.
Okay.
If Miko's gonna
I'll
start patching people up, I'll start adjusting my valves and try to reset myself.
Alright, I'll give you a little... Bro, let me treat wounds. Treat wounds.
Critical success, so that'll be 19.
Let's go.
Thank
Nice.
you, Miko.
Why are you only healed for... Oh, because
That's max.
Gotcha. I put the math. I did the math.
Come on, Miko, get that overhealing.
Overhealing, let's go.
As Miko is patching up the wounds below Devlin, as you look down into the pit below, you see 2 men moving around. One strange, dressed as the same cultists that you saw earlier, and another dressed in ornate robes of a priest of Aristil, a staff in his hand. They appear to be unearthing strange relics. From your vantage point, it appears to be arches made out of ancient bone and metal, carved with intricate sigils into demonic and hellish forms.
What was it that was carved with demonic and hellish forms?
The strange bone and metal structures. They appear to be shaped like archways, almost as though like bone-like structures on the side arcing overneath to form a doorway of sorts, though no door sits within them.
Okay. Saunter back over and let him know I think I found Father Pedros, maybe?
It is not Father Pedros.
I found somebody else!
You do, however, somewhat recognize the man, a priest from Seldrain by the name of Gregor. One of the less friendly priests of Eris, though, that existed. Never cut the crusts off Miko's sandwiches.
Monster.
Another one?
What a
are the
crime.
ones that never cut, yeah, all the ones that never cut the crust sauce are always like the ones we run into. That's how you know they're bad news.
It's Miko's personal detect evil.
Yeah, Miko's detect evil. After I'm done patching up Delea, I would love to go to where that body fell.
Yes. As you go to investigate the space where the body fell, you see he appeared to have landed on a tent full of what appears to be camp supplies.
Is that here?
That is over here.
Okay, here I go.
As you rummage through, you find several flasks and vials of strange elixirs, fangs of and body parts of animals that appear to have been carved into intricate talismans, a set of lock picks that appears to be of exceptional craftsmanship, as well as several small gemstones.
Spooky shit.
We should probably move quick to take care of stuff in the pit.
Yes.
You said there were shiny things?
There are shiny things and liquids. And I have put it all in the party sheet.
Yeah, let's
So
go.
you can see.
I'm taking the shiny things.
Oh.
Where
3 of
my-
the flasks appear to be a rich red liquid that faintly smell of almonds.
Ooh, almond
And
extract.
then a small pink flask. And then another reddish flask.
Can I give
Am
the
I-
flasks look over? Maybe I recognize them as some alchemical mixture.
You can. You want to attempt to identify them.
Let's see. Some might be handy in what's to come. 11.
And 11 does not cut it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, brush up on my alchemical mixtures.
Several of them appear to be alchemical in nature. But you can't quite place what they would do.
Okay.
You guys just pocket all the jewels.
Yeah, shiny.
I mean, I want to take the spooky liquids. Even if we don't know what they are.
I have. Almonds can almost never mean something bad, so I think that's a good sign.
For people who have played with me before, my description should sound familiar and they should know exactly what they are, if they remember.
I mean, okay, listen. 5e brain says red liquid equals healing potion, but
Same.
I'm taking the spooky liquids.
And almonds.
Let me see if I remember how to take things. No one tell me. Just keep going while I try to figure out how the fuck to take these.
Okay.
You got this.
Shut up, I got this.
I'll cast Inspire Courage for Michael to take them.
No one tell me, I'm gonna figure it out!
You got it. No one's saying anything. You figure it out, Michael. You got it. You can do it.
Hey,
You
Folta,
bought
there's
Foundry, so you have to learn this.
Hey, Folta, there's something in here that looks really shiny, like some sort of tools. I don't know. I feel like you'd know what to do with tools rather than anyone else.
Those unusual objects.
Not to rush anybody,
But
but
there's
I
a
think
small jade cat, a wolf fang, and what appears to be a feathered bear claw, as well as a series of what appear to be finely crafted thief's tools.
Well,
I don't have use for the jade.
I don't know that we have the time to fully identify everything. I was just hoping to try to grab some quick libations before running down there.
Michael
Here we
did it.
go.
I think I actually took an object.
You took the
That's
jade
fine.
cat.
Excellent! It's mine now, apparently.
I love the jade cat. But Delia doesn't know what it is, so she's not interested.
I mean, they look like,
No, I know what it is.
if no one else is taking them, I will take the rest. I'm so excited, I figured out how to move things.
I want to take one. We can discuss loot later.
Friendship,
Friendship.
mysterious magic totems. Is someone gonna take the thieves' tools? Imagine having a rogue in
It's
your
probably
party.
a Vatia thing. He's just
Yeah,
not here.
I'm gonna leave them. I'm gonna leave them in the party loot for Vatia to take.
I
Big brain.
imagine it's either a Vatia or Delia thing. I don't actually know. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's a Delia thing. Never mind.
It's a Delia thing?
It's a Delia thing.
Ah, screw it. Oh, I did take thievery. Oh, I forgot about that.
Or a Falter thing, actually.
I took him.
Interesting.
Yeah, only Delia and Falter have thievery trained.
You know, I think Delia's used to sneaking out of the house, so.
My god.
You gotta escape your mother.
Yeah! What should we do now? There's the things down there, and
should probably stop them from digging up more. I can't imagine that anything that looks like what I'm looking at right now can possibly be for
Yeah,
good.
Not a fan.
mm-mm.
Yes. Gregor didn't cut the crust off sandwiches.
How rude. Ah, what an asshole.
Very.
Then we go down.
Should we go down or should we try to I mean, yeah,
Well,
there's really no
What you
other
can tell, there's
option.
only a few points in which you could attempt to actually climb down, and it definitely appears to be a long kind of winding path in which you would be exposed and vulnerable to get to the bottom. It's about a 45-foot drop down to the center of the pit.
How deep does the pool look near the waterfall?
It looks fairly deep, and as you take a closer look, you see what appears to be this sort of black ichor kind of bubbling up to the surface that actually vaguely reminds you of the rot and corruption that you saw that some of you who are at the Circle of the Twisted Oak saw.
Best guess, do I think I can just jump off the waterfall and splash 45 feet down, maybe take a little damage?
You can certainly try.
Alright. I see my entry.
I see Delea's face. She knows.
Everything is fine.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're
metagame.
talking about.
I mean, it's only 45 feet into water. I've seen people do that in, like, swimming pools and survive, right? It's fine.
I think Devil is just gonna need to pick me up and then hope for the best.
It's like half of this is just like, I know what this does and I can't say anything, and the other half is like, is this really? Okay, this is what we're
He's a
doing right
monk.
now.
He'll be fine.
Like, this is what we're doing right now, and everything is fine. Everything is perfectly fine.
I
You
love
guys all
not
have ranged
understanding.
ability, right?
What?
You guys all have
Yes?
ranged ability, right?
Like 30 feet.
That's it?
Yeah.
I'm saying if I get my
Batia and
bulky...
Zarko are your two ranged characters, and they're not here tonight.
I was gonna
How
say, if I
much-
can get my butt down there and just kind of tank while you fire at them.
I apologize for designing this map based upon the strength of different characters that happen to not be able to be here today.
Oh, they would have
just
a
throw me
heyday
in the
with
river.
this. Well, the plan I see is me and Devlin go get him.
Let's just...
I don't like any part of this.
How is it 10 feet between each wooden area?
Yeah, it's about 10 feet. 10 feet for each, well, like 15 feet for each way down. So 15 feet to the one palisade, then 15 feet to the next one. No, I'm doing my math wrong. I did the math before we did this.
That's like a
Some of
60
them,
foot pit.
yeah, some of them
right?
have, some of them have 3. Sorry, it's like 10 feet each. Yeah, you're right. Roughly, they vary, different shapes.
Okay. Maybe we just climb down the first ladder, climb down the second ladder here.
This is my attempt to learn how to do depth on a combat map because I'm bad at
and then
drawing
jump
depth.
down. Okay, I think I know how I'm getting down. As stealthily as possible until we're noticed, and then it's rush, right?
Think that's gonna be our best bet.
Okay, let's go. And I'll start going stealthily.
This is a really bad idea, but there's no other ideas, so we're going to be fine. Everything is going to be great. I'll do a little strum on my lute for a quick little inspire courage.
And this feels, right before we start this, as an appropriate place to take our midstream break instead of in 20 minutes, since we'll kick off this combat and it'll last a while. We will take a quick 15-minute break, and then we shall return with the second half of our Legacy of Ruin adventure. Be back soon. Hello, everybody. We're back from break as the party prepares to delve into the pit. How are you going to do this?
Trying not to cry.
Poorly, probably. Someone throw me in the water. Okay, how much fall damage will I take if I jump into water? Like, this is a genuine question. I just don't know the mechanics of it.
If you can make it all the way to the water, I will give you resistance 5 to the damage.
And we're using the Pythagorean theorem still, right?
That's a huge
I did the math for the last equation.
jump
I'll do it
and
again.
throw.
How far down is the pit?
It's about 45 feet down, 55 feet out.
I mean, I was just thinking about going down the waterfall, but...
You guys can try to jump down the waterfall too.
70-ish feet.
I'm not crazy about the idea.
I don't think we should throw anyone.
Okay, guys, hear me out. Have we considered that we just don't?
But Father Pedro.
Just walk away. Wash your hands of it.
I'm washing my hands of it metaphorically.
Well, if you really want to wash your hands, there's the creek.
I was gonna say I could also just put my hands in
The
creek
dirty,
right there.
corrupted creek.
Is it
I'll
dirty
cast
and corrupted up top
prestidigitation.
too?
That's fine.
Not necessarily up top, but you do see like the ground seems kind of ew. Is the best way to describe that with my repertoire of GMs.
I don't
Writing
like ground
that down.
I don't like ground to use.
Seems
Ew.
Ground?
It's
Ground?
ewy ground.
Ewy ground. Well, I'm not one for ewy ground.
We already declared though that I was going to be climbing down the ladder stealthily before break, and then move my character on.
I
the
wasn't
ladder,
sure
so
if you were climbing down the ladder or if you were jumping.
No, I'm climbing down the ladder. So here's my intent. I'm going to climb down the ladder until here. Then I'm going to jump down, and then jump down
In the open.
I mean, I'd like to be closer to him when I jump down on that second ledge, so I'd probably leap from here down. But that's the path I'm taking.
What if you just
In my
hold
head.
me in your arms while you do it?
a baby Bjorn
If you would
Miko
like
onto
me
the
to
wood
do that,
stack.
I will do it.
Okay, we got to do an elf shelf situation. Have you seen those like the like stamps they make for
That went
kids
the wrong way.
where they like put they it's like a shelf on a harness basically, and the dad or parent wears it as like a backpack, and then there's a shelf. And when I was playing in the Melgary campaign, because she's so short, they made one of those and then put her on it, and it's called the elf shelf. We gotta elf shelf it, gang. Melgary goes back to Dublin.
This is like this is an on-topic question, but I have had time to refocus while Miko was treating wounds on me earlier. Okay.
Devlin as well. You could all refocus.
Thanks.
Okay,
now back to this elf shelf.
Back to the elf shelf.
I've collected Miko onto my back.
Here we go.
And I'm moving down the ladder as stealthily as I can, because I know that the noise from up here didn't draw their attention, so they must be making at least a little bit of noise down there, or pretty focused. So I'm going to be just kind of quiet and move quickly down, across, down, leap, across, leap. That's the movement.
Do you remember the Hobgoblin camp? When Kasenki attempted to stealth across the open field?
Yeah, but their focus is down on the ground where they're digging, so I'm just gonna try to be as quiet as possible. I mean, there's okay. What else do I mean? There's no.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Once
I don't
you go
expect
down that
to...
ladder, you're in the wide open.
Yeah, but I'm
There's
45
no
feet above their
or
head.
concealed.
Well, I'm 45 feet above their head. on a platform. So, as long as I, do like a duck walk version of a quick run,
All right, roll me your stealth check as a secret roll.
Yeah, it's not going to be great, but it's the best idea I got, because otherwise I just announce that I'm there and let them shoot from the beginning.
Just run faster.
Not self-roll. Blind
I don't
GM
like
roll.
this change in music.
Oh, I didn't have it up.
It
I don't have
goes
Seer
back
Escape
to
up.
Devlin.
I'll get it up in a minute. Do I, is it a blind GM roll? Is that what I'm rolling?
Yeah, blind GM roll.
And it's stealth?
Yep.
Remember, guys, I'm great at stealth.
While carrying Miko on your back.
Elf shelf.
I'm sure the elf shelf gives him a stealth bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
bonus, definitely.
Did it work?
Oh, he's
Yeah.
definitely going.
Okay.
Can't move you for some reason. I have to dismount you all. I'm sorry. Not letting me move Devlin when you're mounted. You climb down and start to make your way across. You get a few feet with Miko upon your back when the movement seems to attract the attention of Gregor below. As your gigantic muscular form moves across the wooden planking with your stealth check of an 8. You hear Gregor shout out, "Intruders!
Oh.
After them! Pedros has ordered this site protected."
Sorry?
What?
Hey? Oh, I'm poking from behind Devlin. Excuse me.
And everybody roll initiative.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, what?
Hey?
My god. Gang? This is
Say psych
bad
right now.
vibes for all of us. Say psych right now.
Oh, wait. Am I still wounded since I have been treat wounded?
No, you would not be
Treat
wounded
wounds.
anymore due to the treat wounds.
Miko?
Did.
Also, nobody has
Inspire courage.
yeah.
Oh, mine's still a blind GM roll, my bad.
It's okay. You got 14. And you're not under the effect of key strike. And Miko isn't protected anymore by the shield.
Great.
Zappies.
As Gregor turns to look at you all, he sort of rushes over and takes cover behind this archway and takes no other action. Miko, it's your turn.
Sorry, are we down there or are we still up, like, up here?
You're up on this first thing, mounted on Devlin's back.
Okay, how high up off the ground are we?
Where you're at, 30-ish feet.
30 feet. Okay, let me do some quick Pythagorean theorem. I don't think we can do much here, gang. Yeah, I'm like 60 feet off away from him. Okay, you know what? With the quick Pythagorean theorem I just did, I'm about 60. away from him. I can cast
71-ish.
That's not what mine is telling me.
I'm bad at math. I failed math.
I'm literally,
like 3
I don't know,
times.
I'm literally using like a calculator that calculates Pythagorean theorem for me.
Yeah, no, I failed math like 3 times. Don't listen to me.
I'm gonna attempt to cast Daze. That's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do.
He critically fails.
Yeah,
wow.
he
So he
does.
is he becomes stunned 1,
Okay, nice
And-
job, Miko.
takes
He
4
do be
damage.
dazed.
But actually it's 8 damage because it'll be doubled due to the crit failure.
Let's go.
Good job.
And thank you. And that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, I can use my last action to hold on for dear life.
You better. You very much better. I promise
Yeah.
what's about to happen is gonna shock.
Yeah, nothing as good is about to happen. I'm sure of that. Thank you.
Buckling
Delea.
on Devlin's wild ride.
It's funny you should make it a Disney reference.
Hey!
How many of you have seen Aladdin?
What?
I don't get it.
I'm scared now.
I'm scared.
I don't like where this is going.
Oh, we should mark this for reference. Delea,
I'm-
it's your turn.
I'm writing down the timestamp really quick.
It's fine. I have a lot of health.
Okay, I got the timestamp. I'm gonna get closer because things are happening. I can get there.
Sure are.
Things definitely sure are happening, and I'm like, you know what'll really liven the mood? A little tune
As you try to
Inspire
inspire
courage.
courage.
with a lingering composition because there's
Make
no
your
other way to-
performance check.
Were you inspiring?
Everyone.
Oh, okay.
It's like 60-foot radius.
Yeah.
Here's my performance.
A 13 is not a success.
But what if it's a hero point?
Then it'll become a success and it'll last 3 rounds.
Cool.
Yes, and everyone got a hero point from the break, of course.
Good.
And
Gonna need
bit
it.
cheers can give hero points. 500 bit cheers. Hero point for a player. $25 extra life donation. Hero points for everyone. You still have 1 action.
Is anyone on the do I theoretically have enough to get down the ladder?
Yeah, you could get down the ladder. You could get like right there.
Yeah. Can I get there?
Yeah, you can get there. Oh.
I don't...
It's gonna be off kilter, but that will count. It's kind of like on this first space there.
Cool.
He rushes around. Devlin! Your turn.
So one question before I do anything. How far does this protrude?
It's very thin. In fact, the whole area counts as difficult terrain as you have to kind of maintain balance. Shoddily put together, maybe 3 feet wide at best.
What about this here specifically?
That's about a 5-foot awning.
I think we know where I'm going.
Oh, this really is Aladdin. Okay, now specify which are you doing? Are you channeling the animated Aladdin or the live action Aladdin?
I was thinking animated.
Okay,
Personally.
good. Then I'll allow it.
Cartoons get hurt much less than real people when they do this. I'm gonna take us right to the
We're gonna
edge
die.
and jump onto the awning. I will make sure Miko is well protected though, so that all damage is on me and he's nice and not squashed.
Go ahead and make me an acrobatics check. Or, sorry, an athletics check, rather, for jumping. You leap off, aiming for the awning. As you slam into it, you fall through and hit a table underneath. Papers, documents spread everywhere as you just poof right onto it. You do your best to keep Miko sheltered from the fall. The awning doesn't do much to protect you, but it does help a little bit.
I take my damages. Fine.
Giving you a bit of resistance. As you'll take 12 damage
Okay.
from the fall.
Awesome.
And you are currently prone.
Yep, that's one move, right? One action?
That's one action, yes.
I stand
Am I
up in
taking
mountain
any damage?
stance.
Mountain stance.
Miko, you do not take any damage. He was able to successfully protect you with his
Alright.
excellent athletics check.
Nice.
So I'll stand up in mountain stance as my last two actions. And then I'll say out. I hope that wasn't important. That's my turn. I told you we'd get us. I'd get us there.
Don't
I'd
forget
get
to
us
apply
there.
mountain stance to yourself.
Ah,
Oh,
yep,
what
yep.
happened there? Walter, it's your turn. What's
I
going on
clicked
there?
end turn. Sorry.
Okay.
I feel like Matilla is talking
I
and is
think
muted.
he might be muted.
You might be onto something there. So, how long would it take to actually climb down the ladder manually? Like, how much movement would that take?
It's just difficult terrain, so it's all double movement to move through this whole area.
Okay.
And it should
So-
auto-calculate that, as you'll see, because
Yeah,
I
it does.
drew difficult terrain around this entire map.
But you know what's not difficult?
Jumping.
Leaping.
All right,
To
I'm
your
gonna.
death.
It's not
Oh.
jumping, it's falling in, or it's flying in style. Falling in style.
Exactly.
I'm
That
going
was
to
fun.
match Devlin's sense of urgency. Not quite perfectly match. Can I try to slip down to the level right below here?
Yeah.
I figure worst case scenario, I smashed through here and I got another level to break my fall.
Yeah, you can
Sure.
do that.
Sure.
Acrobatics then? Or
Go ahead and
What do you want
give
from
me
me?
the jump, and then make me a reflex saving throw to grab the edge. We'll use the grab an edge reaction ability
Okay.
here. We'll use the actual rules that Pathfinder has.
The rolls that it's calling for aren't coming to mind. If you can walk me through it.
Just a reflex save. To see if, as you jump down, you can actually, like, successfully kind of stop yourself. Yeah, and you leap down at the 10 feet.
Ooh, my bad.
What happened there? I got it. And you take no fall damage.
And is that all the same part of the one movement, or is that would be a second action, wouldn't it?
That can be part of the same movement, the run and leap, and then reaction to grab your fall.
Okay. I want to do it again. Well, actually,
You won't have another reaction to try to grab your fall, so.
It's 15 feet from the lowest platform to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need reactions where we're going. I'm gonna do one of those.
Alright, so that'll be 1d6 fall damage. And you still have one action.
I'm
The fall
going
damage is
to-
more deadly than the cultists.
I don't know about that. Targeting Devlin with Protect Ally.
Alright. As you hurl your ethereal shield, summoning the soul shard of your power, it projects forth its mystical energy. As you see this shield take form in front of you, Devlin, protecting you, hopefully, from harm.
It's not flying,
Yeah.
it's falling with style.
Fools! You dare intrude in our work? Gregor yells as he rushes forward. And he casts Fear, targeting all four of you.
Does it have a... can I counter performance? Is this something I can counter performance?
What's your counter performance for? It's emotion, fear, and mental are the traits.
There's mental. It's performance check against an auditory or visual effect. So probably not.
Instead, I'm going to use my hero points and get my failure
Roll
becomes a
performance.
success.
Yeah, it doesn't have auditory
Okay.
trait. I checked verbal components to give it the concentrate check, but not the auditory trait. This is
Yeah,
weird.
that's-
I'm gonna have to double check
that's-
this later after the game. All
I take
right,
my hero point.
you're using your hero point to make it a success. All right, so
Yeah.
Devlin, you will be frightened 1. Nico, you will be frightened 1. Delea, you will be frightened 2. Falter, you will be frightened 3, and fleeing for 1
I did want to
round.
use my hero point on this one.
Okay, that'll just make you frightened 2 then. You won't be running away. Frightened 2. And
Wait, so
that counts as
who all failed? It was just me that failed then.
Alter failed, you failed, and then Devlin used a hero point to get a success. So
Cute. Okay.
Oof.
and that's Gregor's turn.
I would like to stop fearing! Chrissy! I don't like this, Chrissy!
As the wave of the fear kind of overwhelmed you, you feel almost nauseous as your influence from Azrael sort of kind of makes you feel queasy from it.
Great. That's what I hate to hear.
Miko shouldn't be wounded if he cure wounds was himself too,
Can't
right?
cure wounds himself.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I know what all these things mean, definitely. What am I gonna do? Okay, I had a plan, and then this happened, and my plan went out the window. Let me check something. Devlin, I'm gonna give you a little heal. Yeah, so I'm gonna do. I'm gonna heal Dev for give him a two action heal. So my plan kind of went out the window.
For
There
18.
you go.
Nice.
I'm
We're
really
getting
good
Devlin
healing.
close to full.
I use the good spices on him. This is the first time I've ever used the
I
good
needed
spices
them.
on him.
Like, they've
Yeah.
never been
The
this
good
effective
herbs.
before.
I know. Yeah, he's like, wow, these like the spice have never been this effective before. It's like Miko who's never used the good ones on him.
The good stuff.
It's the good stuff. This is the dollar store. How good could it be? Anyways,
The herbs smell nicer than they used to. They always smelled bitter and old before, after your street fights.
Is that sage?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you splurge and use a bit of lavender. And then I think I'm gonna. Can I use my action to like dismount? Can I get off Devlin?
Yeah, you can get off Devlin as
I'd
an
love
action.
to get off. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
off it. I'm just gonna move myself next to him, like here.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Okay. And then that's all
That
for
was your
me,
turn.
gang.
Delea. Spooky priest of Aristo. Miko, you're no longer frightened, by the way.
I'm gonna do the cute little thing and not jump.
Come on, parkour. Peer pressure.
Squishy caster. Squishy caster. I'm gonna climb down. Just gonna go down a little bit more. And how much
Well,
more?
to climb down, you'd have to come over here first, and then climb down, then come over here,
Wait,
and
am
then
I
climb
not?
down.
All difficult terrain.
Because you're up
Wait.
here at this ladder.
I thought I was here.
No, you only climb down the one ladder. So you gotta go up this way first,
God.
and then down, and then this way, then down, and then over here.
That's
and
why
then down.
we leap. I'll catch you.
Boom, 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 boom.
Could Devlin, could Devlin theoretically
That's a
actually catch?
Dice in the dice jar, dang it.
No, it's not my own name.
I know, I say it for me. Yeah.
Could he theoretically even catch me? Is that a thing?
I'll let him attempt a reflex save to catch you as a reaction.
You gonna admit the automaton's more acrobatic than you?
Yes.
Here's
Alright, if you want me
So-
to do it, I'll
so
do it.
here's
if you
the
want me to.
official. There are official Pathfinder 2nd Edition rules for falling on a creature. So if you land on a creature, you could just jump onto Devlin and you can make a reflex save. And he'll take fall damage
No, do it! That'd
based
be way
upon
funnier!
your reflex save. You still take a bit of damage, right? But you can carry that damage over to him as well.
No. Think of the story, that's so much better!
Why are my saves so low? Why are these so low?
But I will
Frightened.
I will
Yeah.
let him
Bunch of
attempt
minuses.
a reaction reflex save to catch you. And I'll let
Sure.
you make a reflex save to try to avoid crushing him. And then
Just
we'll see
in
how
my
it plays
head.
out and see who takes damage where for what.
In my head, I just see it. Devlin smashes, like this,
While in
smashes
mountain
the thing
stance.
onto the table, and then slams onto the ground. Stands up and Miko hops off, stands up, gets ready, and then bam, gets smashed back to the ground again by a falling
You're in
Delia.
mountain
Like,
stance.
just-
You're telling me that tiny little
You're gonna
delay
ruin. You're
can
gonna waste
flatten
my
you?
heal. You're
That'd
gonna
be
waste
so
my precious
funny.
heal that I just
It would be
used.
so funny though. Like the story on that's hilarious. I'd watch that movie.
I think
watched
you
that
should
movie.
I think you should fall on the warden cultist. I think you should fall on him.
You could jump on the warden cultist as well.
Jump on the cultist!
Drop the people's elbow on him.
Wait, had we really not considered that until I just said that?
He was too far away. He was too far away for me to get to. Just because he's like
Yeah.
he would have been
Fall on
like
him, Delia.
30 feet to the right and 10 feet out. So I went for the thing here to try and help me out. But I'll definitely roll a reflex save and try to catch you. You want it? Let's do it. I'm in.
Can I fall on him from where he is? It's like take a nosedive.
You want to jump on the warden cultist? Make an acrobatics check.
That's a.
Do the people's elbow with
It's
your
from the top
battle
rope.
loot. He screams out. He's like, "Do it!"
I think she's going down screaming. I'm not trained for this.
You're going after him and not me?
Yeah, I'm not trained for
You leap
fine.
at the warden cultist. He's gonna make a reflex saving throw.
He's gotta miss.
A 14.
Use your hero point
I already used it.
to make yours higher. Oh, okay, you can't make yours higher, can you? Never mind. That's not how it works.
God.
You will take 14 falling damage. And from his failure, he takes 7 of that himself as you slam into him and knock him prone.
So I guess this
And
is
you
really
are also
bad.
prone.
Do I have any actions left?
Yeah, you still have 2 actions.
So I guess this really does answer the age-old question of if all of your friends jumped off into a pit, would you?
The answer is yes. Unequivocally, unapologetically, yes.
I can still cast a spell from prone though, right?
You can, yes, you can.
I'm telekinetic projectiling his ass.
Get his ass!
You critically hit!
God.
What the fetch?
I love this game.
What's happening right now?
Roll damage!
And that's doubled because it's a crit. So that's 18.
What?
Please, in your own words, describe how your entire action goes here.
How's this one pan out?
Whee! That's it. That's all I got. I
That's
don't
it,
have
that's
words. I don't have words for what the fuck just happened. I'm trying to process this mentally. I do not have the words for this. I'm struggling to process what the fuck just happened.
Alright. You leap! Inspired by your loot's cry to do it, seeing your companions. You jump at the cultist, crying out. You slam into him, unprepared. He hits the ground, slamming his head. And in a rage, you hold out your hand, casting a spell, and a rock flies up, slams into the back of his skull, crumpling it as he shivers underneath you and expires. Black smoke rises up from his body.
Delia kills people really violently.
I
Gregor
assume
cast
it's all
fear
the
and it triggers-
angst you have against your mother.
She really should have took barbarian dedication.
That fear spell triggered Delea's fight or flight response
And
in
she
a really
chose
violent way.
She chose flight, but not the way you would think.
Wrong one.
I choose both.
Love it.
And my fear is down by 1 at the end of my turn, right?
Yes.
Or my friend.
Delea chose violence today.
She chooses violence every day.
Devlin, it is your turn. It auto removed your frightened, so you're actually still frightened 1. You didn't have to reduce it manually.
I will move.
Oh, bye, King.
Actually, to complete the rest of that move, because I can move 25 feet, or 20 feet, because I'm in mountain stance, and that's 15, I'm going to get to his side here.
Okay.
So I'm not blocking views for my team. And I'm going to attempt to put him in a headlock. So grapple.
Yeah, get his ass.
All right. Roll your grapple check. You succeed, so he will become grabbed. He's not going anywhere right now.
And with my last turn, unfortunately, I don't have like suplex and all that stuff yet because that comes much later. But I guess I'll try and give him a knee, so 1 unarmed strike.
You can still flurry of blows. But
Okay.
they would be at, remember, because grapple's an attack, so you start at -5, then -10. But you can flurry of blows still.
I'll do it. Okay.
Might as well, right?
-5, yeah, may as well. And he's got at least some form of a negative, right, for being grappled?
Yeah, because that makes him flat-footed. He has a -2.
Does demoralize if I tried to do anything like that? Would that stack?
Yeah, but then you'd run out of actions. Demoralize would give
Yeah.
him frightened. And that would stack with flat-footed.
And make him a little bit easier to hit?
Yeah, then he'd have a -3 to anybody trying to attack him.
No, because 2 of my players don't go until after he goes. So you know what? I'm just going to go for my flurry of blows and punch him. Or knee him. It'll be knees. So here's the first attempt.
That hits. And for 7.
And my final attempt. Come on. My computer's just dying right now. There's too much going on.
And that one misses.
Okay. That's my turn.
Give me 1 sec. Something's being weird here. Give me a sec. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm like, something's wrong with his stuff, but it's because he's grabbed. There's a lot of weird math on his armor class that was throwing me off.
Gonna start revving up. And I'm gonna dash over here. Can't quite get in. Wait, do I have 30? Speed doesn't seem right. Oh, right, my power speed. Forgot my power suit speeds me up. Okay, I can actually get here. Okay. Today we punch a priest.
That hits. Four, 8.
All right. And
That's
that
all your actions, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm counting. I'm like, overdrive, this, that. Okay. He raises a hand, and black energy begins to shoot up across it as this feeling of kind of negative, dark power start to course across his arm. And he points it towards Falter as he casts a 2-action arm at you. Go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw.
Please can't.
As you critically succeed, as the magic washes over you, you almost, not only does your body seem to repel it, you feel Azrael's gift sort of surge and push the energy around you, as though parting the negative energy away from your body, unable to land a strike against you. I forgot to mark off he cast it. And then he strikes out with his fist as a follow-up, critically hitting you for 28 damage.
This dude
Okay,
punches the plus 12.
that's fair. Understood.
Hey?
Understood.
What the fetch?
Ow.
And Falter goes down. I've rolled a lot of crits tonight, guys. I don't know what to say.
All right, we need to
Dice
compare.
think you go to
There's some
jail.
with the rest of us.
We need to compare that dent to Devlin's dent. Ugh.
It's my turn, isn't it?
It is
Great.
Miko's turn.
Hey, Filter, how you doing? How long do you think you could live if I didn't heal you?
I sure am doing.
Yeah.
Assuming he doesn't do some nasty, spooky AoE stuff, I think I'll be alright.
How alive do you feel right now?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 30, I'm at 0.
Okay, interesting how that one
Oh my
works out.
god.
Let me check how something works, and then I will get back to you after these messages from our sponsors.
Enjoying
No,
the stream? Digital Dungeons is proud to connect players.
Yeah.
Join our Discord.
It is almost 1900.
Oh, wowza. I'm trying to remember how overflowing life works. Why can I not figure that out?
The description
It doesn't give me the description on my
is
character
under
sheet.
your the overflowing life is just, that's how you get your +1 bonus to all your heals. I think you're
Right,
thinking of your
gotcha.
healing burst.
That's
is,
definitely what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the wave of healing that does 1d4 per level in a 15-foot
Ooh.
burst.
You know what? Falter, sorry for your loss, but no, I'll heal Falter. I'll use up my last heal on Falter. You're lucky I love you. Now, no one else go down.
I have soothe still, so please
then
don't
I'm
count me.
Then once again, Miko has no one action anything.
Miko
'cause
really
he's
needs a weapon.
Miko has weapons. Miko just is allergic to using them.
You could cast Concordant Choir as a 1 action that deals 1d4 damage to a single enemy.
I think I already cast that. I just didn't mark it off.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'm gonna click it just so it knows that I cast it. Just getting it out of my
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. Yeah. Then
Yeah, that's all for me, gang. I use my last action to say, Father Gregor! Excuse me! No, hold on. No, he doesn't say it like that. He's like, Father Gregor, what is happening? Where is Father Pedro's?
perhaps he will respond on his turn. But for now, it is Delea's.
Boo!
Delaya, climb up the ladder and hit him again.
Section. 6 seconds per turn.
doesn't get a free action to say 25 words? Or
the,
what?
the irony of Devlin taking the wrestler dedication and Delea being the one that people elbows off a cliff.
Tag team.
And breaks the entire skull of.
You gotta have your grappler and your high flyer tag team.
I'm gonna stand up. And I'm just not over how this is going. We'll kick rocks.
Okay. Another telekinetic projectile. That hits. For 6 more damage. Devlin, your turn.
He's still grappled by me, correct?
Yet you have to, I think, spend an action to maintain the grab. On each.
Yeah, you have to make the athletics check to keep the grab on him.
It.
I'm gonna do that then.
That will succeed. Pretty good.
And then
Yeah.
I'll flurry of blows.
All right.
Does this come as a -5, -10 again because that first action?
That will miss. That will critically miss. You have 1 action left.
I mean, I guess I can attempt. Well, I don't really have a whole lot I can do, so I'll just stay here holding him.
Okay. Falter.
I need to climb to my feet. Do I try? Now this guy's trouble. I'm gonna try to hit him with the 1-2.
All right. That hits. That also hits.
Hey. Landon hits.
All right. As Gregor's turn comes, you see his body starts to twist and writhe. Slowly, it seems to distort. The bones begin cracking, moving in strange forms. The skin starts to bubble up underneath. You look and feel as though something is moving from underneath his actual skin, and then out of his head, a massive worm creature explodes forth. As I update its token. And he regains hit points. As this worm crawls out of his body, writhing on the ground, all of you within 30 feet who witnessed this, which will cover everyone, must make a will saving throw.
Could I theoretically counter-performance this?
Distract us, please.
I'll allow it because this is it has a visual tag, so you can counter things with the visual trait, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
She's like, hey guys, look over here!
There's no unimaginable horrors over here.
So go ahead and roll your performance check. As a 23, so everybody, can you only target one person or everybody within?
It's you and your allies in the area. And that area is 60 feet. So everyone theoretically can benefit from this.
Yep.
Yeah.
You and the allies can choose. So you guys can choose your saving throw or the 23.
I'll take that 23.
Yeah, maybe. I'll take the 23.
23 is looking pretty good.
I assume
that
everyone's taking the 23.
Yes.
As you start to feel queasy, unnauseous, you feel this inborn sense of terror start to take hold of you. But suddenly Delea, with her lute in hand, slowly enters into a performance that attracts your attention. You find yourself mesmerized by her visual arts, and you're able to shake off the feeling of frightened and feel energized and inspired against this demonic creature. And that will actually break this grapple.
It's too slippery.
As Devlin, you find yourself holding nothing but a sack of skin and blood in your hands. An empty shell and a husk of what was once a person.
Pedros has returned. But you will never see him again.
And with his last action, he tries to bite Falter, critically hitting.
Stop!
The odds of critically
That's...
hitting you twice in a row.
I'm at dying 3. Oh no.
Yeah, that will increase your dying value since it's from a crit to 3.
Oh no.
You don't have die hard, do you? Miko,
I doubt it.
the odds of rolling back-to-back crits is incredibly...
So...
This is robophobic.
And that was a nat 20 crit, like...
So... Guys, this ain't it. I gotta say. How? Oh, he's badly injured. Okay. Delay, you got healing stuff, right?
I have a soothe.
I'm not asking in character. I'm asking out of character.
Oh, cool. I have the soothe spell. I don't know if it'll do anything with wounded states, but yes, I do have. It's 1d10 plus 4 for me.
I don't know. I mean, it'll be better than me trying to heal Falter. I don't have anything very hefty left.
Hefty hit, I'll soothe.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. Gregor, I'm coming for your ass.
You definitely no, this is not Gregor anymore.
Okay, well, I don't care. I'm still getting his ass. Because I said so. Okay. I'm gonna hero point that to be a hit.
Get him
Alright.
a little better.
I
would like to
assume
get
you're
his
doing
ass.
good damage.
Yes. Only good damage always.
It seems
Come
extra effective as it slams into him and sears across. He lets out a shriek of rage. And you see wisps burn off of the worm-like body.
I'm
They still have an
allergic to
action.
I'm so allergic to whatever's happening here. That's all for me.
Delea.
Hi. Yeah, I want to be a good friend. Oh. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be a good friend, and I'm gonna soothe my friend Falter so he feels better.
That will heal Falter for 8.
This soothe doesn't do anything for wounded state, though, correct? It's just treat.
Does not.
wounds.
Only treat wounds. So he'll be dying, wounded 2.
Okay. Better than nothing. And
You
then
have 1 action left.
yell, just do a regular Inspire Courage for my 3rd action.
Alright. Devlin. You can drop the husk of skin for a free action.
Okay, I definitely dropped the husk of skin. I'm going to key strike, and then I'm going to flurry blows.
Okay. So cast a key strike, and then drag and drop the key strike spell effect on yourself, and you can pick the and then you can pick the type of damage.
The one earlier, that was positive damage, right?
Yeah, you don't want to deal positive damage to living creatures, only to undead.
Then that's
So-
not what I want. Put positive on there, but that's not what I want. I want force.
Yeah, drag and drop it again. Pick a different one. So you want to deal force or negative to living creatures and positive to undead. Make your flurry of blows. That is a crit for the first one.
Get his ass, King!
Alright.
9, I guess?
No, you didn't hit the critical button, so that's doubled for 18.
Okay.
And then one more attempt at map -5. Another crit.
Oh man!
Devlin returns the favor for the 2 crits against Falter. And go ahead and describe what you do to this worm creature.
Okay, so the worm creature has just bitten my buddy. And since I'm assuming the back of his head is to me, I build up that key in my fist, and with the first attack, I grab the back of it and pull it back and strike down into the jaw from behind, crushing its mouth inward. And then as it its head snaps back forward, I'm gonna reach around and grab the jaw and bring it down into my knee. and slam it again in the same spot and try and drive that head just back, even farther back in.
You do that as we end combat. No one died.
No one died.
Just got close.
What do you guys
All of
choose to
Alter's
do?
status effects? Yeah, get over your father and kind of come treat your wounds.
Can we just all agree as a group to never jump off of cliffs again? I don't think it's a good idea to jump off of. I mean, yes, it was effective, but I don't think it's a good idea. I'm looking directly at Devlin.
I cannot make that promise.
I had a lot of fun with it.
I'm pretty sure it worked out really well for you, Delea.
Leia, you were incredible. You were like, whoosh, and then you, and then it was amazing.
Thank you, Miko. I'm just feeling very conflicted about it because falling.
Delay, are you scared of heights?
I mean, if you looked up, you would have seen my eyes were closed that entire time. I did not want to be conscious as I was falling.
Well, I mean, falling with your eyes closed isn't going to help you much when you try to land.
Well, I didn't see as I was falling, so I guess it was alright, at least a little bit. I don't like heights. I'm not a fan of them. Let's never do this again, please.
Come here, Delea. Did you got hurt when you fell then?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, come here. Come here. I'll make it better. And I kiss her on the forehead.
Is that a cure wounds?
No.
He goes out of heals. Unless it's a 10-minute kiss for treat wounds. It's just...
No, I just kiss her on the forehead.
You know, I don't really feel better physically, but emotionally I do feel better, so thank you.
That was the point. Falter, stop moving.
You just did that to shut me up, didn't you?
A little bit.
Cool. It worked.
You can also treat wounds on other people.
I know. I was just finishing up on Falter. I will treat wounds Delea next. After I finish with Falter. Let's go. Let's go.
For 6.
Above average.
And then I think I don't want to be hurtied anymore, so I'm gonna try and
treat wounds yourself.
Myself. Yeah.
Gonna refocus.
Yeah,
Come
you guys can
on.
refocus.
Miko!
You fail on treating wounds
his
for yourself.
His priority is not himself.
As Devlin moves over to investigate the papers that scattered, the majority of them appear to be sort of inventory logs, records of artifacts that have been scrounged from the dig here, gems, old Jitsin ruins that have been shipped off to Kintargo, and notes as a small note journal written in a hand that should Miko look at would be intimately familiar, as it speaks about the progress that they've made in unearthing these artifacts, ancient Jitsin relics that they believe can tie to portals to other realms. A key component to what they need for Nabarius's plans.
Into the Mikoverse. You said this is in Father Pedro's handwriting?
It is.
Miko just... Hi, Lily. Lily pulls a Michael.
This is the second game where there's portals to other realms that I'm in.
Yeah,
notes-
Miko's gonna...
Yeah, the notes do go on to say that they haven't found any of the appropriate relics to activate any of them. And they're expecting a shipment to Cantargo in the next few weeks as they continue to excavate the dig. And there's a small mention. The efforts here continue to bear fruit. The goal of reaching the beast can't be far away, despite our setbacks with the soul-forged orb.
What?
Can you just re-say that, because I'm still trying to process.
So sorry, wait, hold on. Let me say it so I think I'm understanding correctly. Okay, so this is like a dig site for Jitsin Empire shit.
Ancient Jitsin
and-
relics, yes.
Yeah, ancient Jitsin relics that can open portals to other planes.
It appears that way
And-
from the notes.
Okay, that's what like they're theorizing at least. And then they're expecting a shipment to Cantargo of what?
They're expecting to ship these relics out to Cantargo
To Cantargo
in the next,
in the next
few
few
weeks.
weeks. And then they're looking for a beast?
It seems their end goal is connected to something known as the beast.
Which is weird, because they called the unicorn the beast before, but I guess that was Alice. But, like, it might be different. I don't fucking know.
This is a capital B beast, so...
Oh, okay. Alice was saying it with a lowercase b. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So... I think the gang reads this, and then Miko walks over after doing a terrible job treating his own wounds. And then, like, looks over everything, and is like,
Hey, Miko? What the fuck?
I appreciate the prop.
So... It was upside down.
That's twice.
Okay, Sword Coast map.
Shut up.
Other worlds.
Yeah, other planes! See? Like this.
Alright.
They run.
Well, this is pretty fucked, huh?
Miko has not said anything about it being Father Pedro's handwriting.
Well, do we still think that there's a chance that Father Pedro's could be here since his name was mentioned?
It sounded like this task was delegated to Gregor.
But then we were told that Father Pedro's might be here, so do we think he's here somewhere? Or
If what Gregor said is to be believed, and part of Father Pedro's is coordinating something about this, I think we're still 2 steps behind.
so we should just go to Cantargo then? Because if they're trying to ship these out to Cantargo, and if instead of getting the shipment, they just get us with a bunch of fists and magic, beat them up.
Is there anything in those records that says where the shipment was going, or is it just Cantargo?
It just mentions contacts in Kintargo.
So we go door to door, right?
I mean, how much? Okay, I know things, but how much would Delea theoretically know about like things that went on with the rebellion and the revolution?
All of you are fairly
Like,
familiar with the
my
story.
child at the time. So how much would she like actually know about details?
You'll know the general stories of everything, especially learned in studying as a bard. You know, the rising, a secretive group that overthrew Cheliak's rule, freeing Ravounel. I mean, you guys just celebrated Independence Day a few weeks ago. So the basic stories of everything that happened in Kintargo to overthrow, to gain independence from Cheliax. You would know. You might not know the specifics of contract law that accomplish
I have
such
legal
things.
lore. I have legal lore.
Make me a legal lore check. You know what? You got it? Make it.
I didn't think this one would actually be useful. I also do have settlement lore.
Okay, legal lore. You do know that at least the rumors were that people in Kintargo found a loophole in an infernal contract. You're not sure what the specifics of that loophole is, or how it came to fruition, but it did free them from their binding to Cheliax and Asmodeus's rule over them.
Oh, so that's how that story ends. We only got through book 2, it's fine.
Spoiler for Hell's Rebels if you still play first edition, I guess.
It's on the back of the book.
It's in the Pathfinder second edition lore books, so it's there.
I played this in 5th edition of D&D.
Is there... you still doing stuff there?
Yeah, sorry, I just got sidetracked by that. Hell's Rebels makes my brain go burr. So the Silver Ravens, I don't know if it was them, but someone found a loophole in in an infernal contract. They found a loophole in this contract, which is why Ravounel was freed. I'm not really quite sure how this applies, but something with being able to find a loophole in an infernal contract, that might be the thing that is fueling this and the demonic powers that are coming from it. If we go to Kintargo, maybe we should see if we could some sort of connection to any of the Silver Ravens to see what knowledge they have on this.
The Silver Ravens, eh? Tell me more about the Silver Ravens.
Just because they're the ones who were like kind of leading everything, so I would imagine that if anyone did have the information, they would at least be a good place to start, or a good connection to help us track down, because working underground and everything. I don't know, it might be a decent place to start at least.
It's a good idea.
I don't want to go through my mother, but she would have the law connections to people who are running Kintargo at least, so they might be able to help point us in the right direction. But I don't know. This is a big thing. we all just jumped off of a cliff, and so I'm feeling a little bit lightheaded from that.
Your battle high's coming down. Can I take a moment to look over this excavated device and see if I can glean anything from it beyond what was written in the notes?
Yeah.
I have engineering and Jiska lore, if either of those will apply.
Go ahead and make a Jitsu lore.
Jitsu lore.
So, as you look at this device, rubbing your hands over it, it seems to jog memories that sort of spur in the back of Falter's mind. While the construction is different from what you're used to, mostly carved into bone but laced with metal structures throughout, it seems to jog a memory of ancient tech that just escapes you a bit, but you know that some of these runes seem to tie to an ancient calamity that the Jitsin Empire had to deal with. But your memories of that time aren't as full as they once were. You can't quite make that connection.
But I get the idea this might have been some kind of last resort tool.
Perhaps, yes. Sort of a attempt by the Jitsins to accomplish something in defense of whatever this calamity was.
The true machinations of this device escapes me, but I get the feeling it's definitely something to be reckoned. Whatever it actually does, we definitely don't want these people to activate them.
What is this large dragon-esque looking mask face cave entrance thing down towards that southeast side of the pit?
This thing?
As you look at it, this appears to be also carved. It's not the actual skull of a beast, but carved in the shape of a fearsome monster, massive in its account. It looms almost like an aura of chaos and destruction when you look at it. Feels like it exudes out from it. Carved into some of the surfaces of it is symbols that, Walter, you can slightly recognize, speaking about death from the skies and untold horror.
Ugh. Untold horror and skybound monstrosities? Gonna kind of shudder. My plates actually kind of jingling against each other a bit. The more I stand in this excavation, a cold feeling whelms over me. I'm not comfortable here.
Is there anything we should grab from here, aside from like the papers and stuff? Should we just dip?
I don't want to be that guy, but do we want to maybe destroy Arch before we leave?
It did cross my mind, though I
Yeah,
fear
let's give it a
tampering
good
with it
whack.
further may do something that we wouldn't want.
I'm in favor of giving it a good whack.
I am taking the papers, by the way. As soon as Delia said, "Are we taking anything, like including the papers?" Mika was like, "In the bag."
Okay.
They're mine.
You okay, Miko?
Yes, you just said we needed to take the papers. Why do the papers?
That's not what I asked. Are you okay?
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't believe you.
Well, one of us is a trained cleric.
Can I just maybe
One of us is a trained
throw her into
bard.
the water?
What do you
Hang
want
on,
to
but-
do, Devlin?
Just push it over into the water. I don't want to try and like break it or kick it or anything. Just tip it over.
Yeah, you can push it over. It's not even that difficult, really. Kind of falls over and clatters on the ground, kicking up dust.
When I was looking it over, did anything seem particularly like integral to it, or was it just completely lost on me?
You definitely go ahead and make a crafting check. But you did because you did Jitsin, right? Not engineering. You could also do engineering if you want. You could do engineering more.
I think my crafting and engineering are the same check. Yeah.
Okay. You could take time and possibly dismantle parts of it, but it's hard to tell if it would ever function again. You definitely see parts are missing. You could tell that from your investigation earlier. The device is dormant and can't be activated in its current state.
Machines can be dangerous when operated or tampered with incorrectly. I fear just smashing it may have some backlash. I'd like to take a moment to see if I can't at least take something integral from it so it can't be activated should they return and reclaim it.
Alright. Yeah, you know what is best.
And then, yeah, if we've got time, I want to take my time looking it over and seeing if I can find like a keystone to the machine and just remove it and take it with me.
Yeah, how are you looking it over? Just like visually kind of inspecting, or are you trying to like get in to it a little bit?
Yeah, if I can find any like panels or figure out how if I can get into like the inner workings or something, I'd want to pop it open, see if I can't fully inspect it.
So
if it applies, I have detect magic at will as well.
As you investigate the device, slowly searching for perhaps a panel or a piece of engineering, as your hand touches it, you feel a surge of energy radiating from your core, and the device slowly, the runes feebly start to light up as it reacts to your touch.
Oh no.
And the rest of you feel kind of a tingling energy inside the center of your chest where Azrael's energy landed.
Is it like a power welling in me, or does it feel like it's pulling from me?
It feels almost like it's pulling from you.
I want to take my hand off it and back away.
And this tingling sensation fades away, and the runes also fade.
Don't fucking touch that.
Yeah, I just as I step back, I'm looking at the archway, and I turn back to the party to stare at them. It has something to do with me. I'm run my hand down the dented chest plate. It interacted with my core.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. Miko is going over to the ladder. He's like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. Nope, 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 nope.
That's strange. I did not feel anything myself. It must be very specific to you.
Let's. Well, how about because you want to dismantle this before we go, just in case, right? What if? Tell me what to do, and I'll touch things. So you're not touching it.
That might work.
Tell me what I'm doing.
Alright. Trying to kind of direct passing tools or anything Delea might need. How would we go about this?
As you guide Delea's efforts, Delea, as you reach out, you feel this pulling sensation from the center of your chest, and you all feel a tingling inside you as the runes feebly start to ignite.
I'm pulling my hand away. It's like, no,
And it
no,
once again
no,
fades away.
no. Let's.
See, I don't like this.
I don't like this. Let's.
Falter, when you touched this arch, you said you felt something, but perhaps maybe whatever you need from it to make it not work, I can grab. For I feel nothing when I touch this.
Didn't we
Delea.
all feel a little tingly when Delea touched it?
You all did, yeah.
Delea, it's not just me.
Devlin's
I think
saying he
it's
feels
Azrael.
nothing, though.
I think it might be Azrael too, because it was just like right in the gut of my chest.
The gut of your chest, eh?
Yeah, that's where your gut is.
Well,
Devlin, they seem to be speaking about this strange being known as Azrael.
oh yeah, Devlin doesn't know.
I
can't
don't
believe we
know.
didn't tell him.
He's not a part of the club. Devlin, did you feel anything?
Nothing at all.
Oh, look at the others. Do we think that this could be Azrael's doing?
At this point, I don't know if it's meant to interface with Azrael in a good or bad way. It might draw on it, or it might use whatever Azrael actually is as energy to activate.
I think that's what that might be. You know who might know? Yeet the loot out.
Oh, yeah. What you need?
Hi, what the fuck is going on? Whenever I touch it or Falter touches this, it feels like something's pulling from our chest, and you are a figment of Azrael, so I figured you'd probably know what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
I totally know what's
this
going
is
on.
Devlin. Also, this is Devlin. Devlin's really cool. Also, I kissed Miko.
I know. I was there when you kissed Miko, remember?
I know, but I just wanted to say it out loud again.
This is all in Elfish, so you guys don't
Elfish.
speak
Elfish.
Elven.
Hard F.
So if you guys don't speak Elf, that's pretty cool. I was there. That was a great moment. Actually, I know exactly what's going on here. Yep, I haven't had any memory loss. I'm not like a newborn infant lost in the world with no memory of their name and no memory of actually Azrael in any way, shape, or form. I am 100% confident that I know exactly what's happening here.
Okay.
If I spoke Elven, I'd feel called out right now.
Okay, what's going on?
It's obviously weird Jitsun Juju soul magic.
Okay, can you put that into terms that I can actually understand, please?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And the lute starts playing itself into a melody of a song. Like,
Oh my god, musical number?
It's Weird jits and soul magic, weird jits and soul magic, weird jits and soul magic. How was that? Did that help?
I don't know what weird jits and soul magic is, Loot. That's what I was asking for you to dumb down for me.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, your loot's a goober.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Talia, your loot's broken. And not in the fun way.
You know, I really appreciate the song. It was very beautiful.
Do you?
You can't fucking understand me!
No, I know! I, Michael, am saying do you!
Yeah, obviously. So probably not good for you and for Azrael.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot, but I do know that
Does it
Azrael
feel
was
good?
safeguarding an ancient soul orb that enhances the powers of mortal beings that, you know, have been split off into enhancing you so that you could carry these soul force powers that ancient evil forces are actually seeking for whatever reason. And I would guess that this probably has something to do with that.
So this is probably bad.
I mean,
mean,
maybe.
yeah, it's probably bad.
That could be good.
Did it
Azrael
feel good?
gave you the soul powers.
But I don't think I liked how it felt. So I don't think it was good.
It didn't feel like a Miko kiss, I know.
Alright.
I'm just gonna like strum a really awful sounding chord, just kind of like as a shut up.
Oh, why would you use me like that?
I just was trying to play a chord.
You're a much better player than this usually. I think Miko is distracting you from your true calling to be the world's greatest musician.
I keep hearing my name!
When was the last time you practiced, actually?
We've not been home.
Not since the talent show. I don't think you've played a song since the talent show.
Okay, well, I will play a song later. I'll play several songs later, but
You just
we
don't
actually...
use me like you used to.
Bye!
Yes, 2 people asking for music now.
That's a lie because I was strumming for Falter a few days ago as well.
It's not the same.
Oh my god, you're being so dramatic right now.
I get it from you.
Listen, you don't need to call me out like that.
I'm a manifestation of your soul combined with Azrael's power. So if you think about it, I'm really just a reflection of you, plus an ancient cosmic entity matched with Jitsun soul magic. Juju.
Wait, you have the ancient Jitsun soul magic, Juju?
We all do. It was ancient Jitsun tech that managed to allow Azrael to fuse his essence into the soul orb that bounded with your own mortal souls to give you the powers that you have today. Except this one. He can't point, but he just says this one. He's different than the rest of you. I can't quite place it. He has a strength as well, but it makes me feel bleh.
Is Devlin?
Yes.
You can't... Oh no, I'm not talking to you. Sorry, I'm talking to my loot.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, well, he's very special and he's very cool. He just doesn't have the same soul magic, I guess. Should he have the soul magic?
I mean, if he wasn't there, then it's not possible to have it unless one of you dies. If anybody dies, then the power of the Soul Forge orb will actually coalesce and allow another person to take it into themselves and gain
great! Good
the
to
Soul
know
Forge
that.
power.
Great, thanks, Loot. Good to know the Baird isn't afraid of killing us. Great, thanks.
Did
Awesome.
Bayer design contingencies?
Baird design contingencies in this economy? Oh my god.
Well, but this is still very off topic from whatever the fuck this arch is.
Language.
Fuck off.
Language.
If you're a manifestation of me,
believe.
if you're a manifestation of me, I'm really surprised that you're not swearing more.
I'm the nice parts of you.
Put 'em back.
I didn't realize that there were any.
That's why they came to me.
Bro, how'd they get Chris Evans to play the lute? That's crazy.
Roasted by an instrument.
You know, I'm just gonna put you away now. You're not being helpful.
I think I'd be very way.
No, just like holding it. Okay, fine. What? What is it?
I just wanted. I don't like it when you put me away.
Oh, should I just get like a carrying case then?
A strap.
Would you prefer like a carrying case that I can just wear on my back?
Will it be fashionable?
I could make it very fashionable.
I do. I would like to look pretty. Do you think it would help me learn my name?
You know, it might, because then you'd have more world experience, even though you can't. I'll make sure that there's a little window for you to look. Do you have eyes? Can you see? What can you comprehend?
A lot of things.
Okay, I don't want to think about that, but cool. Miko's asking. I don't know how he knows what we're talking about.
Miko isn't asking shit! Michael is!
I get so
Also, your loot is so fruity!
Well, loot rhymes with fruit.
Stop.
That's his name. His name is Fruity. Ask him if his name is Fruity.
Hey, Loot, is your name Fruity?
No,
I mean,
I
it
don't
is
think
Elven.
that fits right.
Yeah, I don't think it really rings either. Well, we'll get you a case so I don't have to bamf you away into wherever the hell you go. I don't really know if I've gained anything from this conversation, but thank you. I want to, if I have like anything to kind of like fasten as like a strap for the meantime, so I kind of do that and put it around my back.
There's a bloody robe over there.
Prestidigitate the blood off the robe,
Yeah.
and then use the robe to kind of like fasten it as a strap and put it around my back, facing backwards.
Yay!
Some fruity loot.
I don't think I've gained anything from that conversation, guys. That might have very well. I mean this out of respect, Luke. It might have been a waste of time.
So that was long-winded. What did the loot say?
A lot of words. Well, so the one thing that I did actually gain from that conversation. So the soul magic that Azrael infused with all of us, is ancient. But I can't talk. Is ancient Chitsin soul magic of a sort. It's. Sorry, Devlin. This is probably a good time for you to actually properly find out. Azrael's essence is a form of ancient Chitsin soul magic. This is not similar, really. It's kind of motioning to the arch. It's not related. It's probably trying to pull, as we felt, it's trying to pull our soul magic for it. And I'm not really, my loot's not really sure of any intentions from it. Or what else could be going on with it. And I need to get a case. So I'm just speaking that out loud so someone can hold me to that.
Devlin, to explain it as quick as possible, we came to an accord with a Jiskin-made celestial being who granted us powers. This thing is trying, I think, feeding on it, but I'm not certain. But you don't have this same wellspring to draw on. So, you'd be correct with what you'd said. You would be able to take the part.
Did you want me to like grab something or do something? I'm not sure what you're asking for.
Yes, I do still want to take apart from this. At this point, I don't know if this is truly malicious or could be used in some beneficial way. I don't particularly want to use our energy to activate it and discover at this moment.
Is there any way that we would be able to find out, or just fuck around and find out, sort of thing?
I ideally, my idea would be to hold on to a key component of the device. If we were to find out through some other Jiskin records, possibly, or maybe one of their other excavations, what these actually do, if they could be used in some beneficial way to the world, or to stop what's going on, I would like to have that in the back pocket.
You tell me what part you want, and I'll snag it right off of that.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to carefully examining the thing without actually touching it to see if I can possibly find something that looks important, and direct Devlin to take it off.
Yeah, you can choose between crafting, engineering, or Jitsa lore.
Crafting, engineering, and Jitska. So many options, all +7. Fuck.
Nice job.
Your memories are faulty for living for thousands upon thousands of years, and you
He
falter
continues
in your
to falter.
attempts to
I just
find
start reaching around
something.
and something,
But
snagging stuff
Devlin-
until it falls, right?
As Devlin kind of reaches out, he just starts kind of peeling, parts away, trying to take it. You manage to pry out a couple pieces of rune carved bone from it that seem like if these inscribed bone pieces are missing, similar to like breaking a magic circle, right? All the runes aren't there. How can you activate it?
Sure. That checks out.
You think. As you watch Delea, Miko's been gone for quite some time.
The unicorn got
As
him.
you all rush to join Miko. It's probably been long
that's-
enough. You can try treat wounds again now.
You know where that scene in Cabin in the Woods where all of the creatures get out and
Yeah.
the guy gets downed by the unicorn? That's what's happening to Miko.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. While they were all gone, I'm gonna try giving myself another treat wounds. Okay,
Give
yourself a
let's
little
go.
treat.
Click the button for yourself there.
I think Miko's earned a little treat.
A little treat for Miko. What? Oh my gosh. I hate selecting tokens. Okay. 3?
That's your max
Oh,
hit
right.
points.
Okay,
I
got
rid
it.
of the
I got
wounded
it.
condition. So,
That's all I wanted.
alright, what do you guys choose to do?
Did we want to spend time to figure out, now that have more time, figure out what items were from that tent?
It's gonna be a few days to get back to Ravounel.
We might as well, I'd say, do that when we get back.
I don't
Are
need much
you
time to
targeting-
rest. I can look over the items while people are sleeping.
Alright.
I was gonna ask one thing too, from the paperwork that we saw. If we want to head back, or if we want to maybe head to Kintargo where the shipments are supposed to be going.
We do have to get back to town either way before we go to Kintargo.
Yes, I think you should go back to town and then maybe get to Kintargo. I feel like we'll be able to find an easier way to Kintargo from town.
I can forge more connections. And whatever that might mean for us to get them.
Alright. So you guys make your way back towards Seldrain. A multi-day
Oops, yeah, soldier.
journey. You guys can go ahead and all rest for the night, make yourself full hit points. Falder, you've got enough time where eventually you'd identify all these items,
Okay.
no matter what happens, pretty much. Because it's going to take you 3 or 4 days, and you can check every 10 minutes. So, who's got what here, real quick?
Oh, there,
I
I
think
pulled out a party lead.
Miko has almost everything.
I have one
You
unusual
have
object.
one. So you have an owlbear claw.
Oh!
You can affix this to a weapon when you critically succeed in an attack with the fixed weapon. It has a specialized. You can use the weapon's critical specialization effect, a talisman that will. So it's one-time use for a weapon attack. Miko.
Hi.
So I think you have everything else. So
Hell yeah, I do. I like
you
fangs.
have Wolf Fang. You can affix this to armor, and if you trip a foe, it has special effects to make that better. A Jade Cap, which you can affix to armor, and as a free action, you can treat all falls as 20 feet shorter. You get 3 lesser healing potions.
That's what I like to hear.
Those the
Cheetahs-
almonds.
Yep, they smell and it tastes like almonds. A cheetah's elixir, a lesser cheetah's elixir, which gives you +5 foot status bonus to speed for 1 minute.
Bro, they got Cheetos here?
Oh my god.
God!
And a Drake Heart mutagen. When you drink
Alright.
it, you gain +5 item bonus to armor class with a dex cap of +2, bonuses to perception checks, and a final surge action to let you kind of like double move thing. Last 10 minutes essentially gives you more enhanced armor for 10 minutes. You can read the description more in your inventory. Or I'll post it in chat.
Sick.
That's what that
Okay.
does. That's what that does. You can actually read that. And you'll all hit
Gotcha.
level 3.
Yay!
But that's not exactly where we're going to end the night.
I don't like the sound
As
of
we
that, actually.
close out chapter 2 of Legacy of Ruin, as you enter into the town of Seldraine,
No.
early in the morning, close to the afternoon, the sound of church bells ring out.
Do they now?
And as you join the crowd making their way towards the Church of Aristel,
Oh,
you
no.
see standing on the steps Father Pedros, Perrin, and several of the other priests of Aristel standing behind him as he prepares to make an announcement.
Sorry?
Folks of Seldraine, I have wandered in the wilderness for many a week now, searching for the children we thought lost. And while my efforts to find them proved fruitless, I discovered many more great and horrible things. A blight is spreading across the land. Corruption and evil. But I have received a vision from Aristel. In my dreams, he has shown me the path to cure this evil that exists. I know many of you have also been having troubling dreams of late. dreams of dark fire, dreams that perhaps scare or frighten you, but promise you a future of strength and prosperity. And I'm here to tell you that these dreams are a vision of Aristil for you to embrace. For the town of Seldrain has lost its way. Too long have we abided those who do not worship Aristil and keep his ways. Those who seek to not maintain the nature of the land. The worshippers of the green faith who merge all the religions, who forge their own path instead of worshiping the true God. Those within our grasp who falsely seek Desna's grace upon them have led to the defilement of our land. And we must expel them from our midst if we are ever to have peace in Seldrain once again.
I dispel my necklace at the speed of fucking sound. Holy shit!
I'm bamping the loot away.
It's gone! It's gone!
As he finishes his statement, you see Perrin appears uneasy with this proclamation. As he looks over the cloud, Perrin catches your eye for just a second, Miko, and he shakes his head. And that is where we will end today's session. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Legacy of Ruin as we finish episode 7 and close out chapter 2 of our adventure. Join us next month, near the end of July, for the start of chapter 3 as we continue our quest here on Digital Dungeons. And as always, join us in our Discord. Thank you, and have a great night.
What the